What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are having a great day, a great afternoon, a great night, a great evening, a great morning, whatever time of day it is. I hope it's awesome for you. Welcome back into the gaming den. We are going to have a wonderful night tonight. I am sorry that I was late. It was my fault. I got to talking during the pre-show and I wouldn't shut up. So tonight's show is going to be very different, though. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let two very smart individuals do a lot of the talking tonight. We had financials for a lot of different companies come out. We had Sega financials, PlayStation financials, Capcom financials. So we're going to discuss that a little bit, hit some of the high points, talk about some of the low points. Also, Mouse PI for hire sold 700,000 units. That's pretty dang cool. Soros is predicted to not have sold that much. Now, granted, it's by a firm that none of us trust, none of us really like, but it did beg the question in my brain, how important is word of mouth in gaming? Not meaning like, duh, of course it's important, it helps grow the market, but like really, how many games do we purchase, or how many games do you think the average gamer would purchase just by word of mouth? Or how many games have we purchased by word of mouth? Because I feel like Mouse PI had a pretty bigger kind of word of mouth campaign than Soros has had up to this point, which is unfortunate, but we're going to get into that a little bit and not really dive into the numbers provided by analytics. But yeah, we're going to discuss a little bit of the other side of it, a little bit more of the nuanced side. And then we will be getting into the PlayStation Plus titles for the month and also the PlayStation, like I said, the PlayStation earnings. And yeah, we have a great show tonight. Word of mouth is extremely important, far more than only traditional marketing. First, let's say hi to the folks who are here early. We got Hero, we got David Faulkner, of course he's on the panel. Stephen Leon is also on the panel. Hero Down Under, Will 777JP, Raichi 7361, D487, and I think that's it for now. Welcome in, everybody, and let's bring on the guest. We have kind of talked about all what we're going to do. Let's bring them in. Let me do this. I am now stalling because I can't find the button. There it is. What's going on, guys? How are y'all? What's going on, guys? How are y'all?
Hi, he's back. He's talking to us.
Yeah,
Hello,
I was talking to y'all.
I'm good. I'm good, bro.
Since what? Sunshine.
Sitting here quietly twiddling my thumbs for the last 10 minutes, wondering if I'm actually still on the call.
I was taking a nap.
You're taking. I told y'all to talk. I'd be right back. What? Taking a nap and woke up with a 20 gifted member bomb to start the show. Holy crap, Stephen Leon, you don't have to do that.
Right. I don't have to.
But I appreciate it.
I kind of like you, I think.
I know.
It's raining over here, so it's a rainy day.
Yes. It's a rainy day. Rainy day, 20 members. Let's go. All right, so now I have to interrupt this and call out the call out these names real quick. And if you hear your name called, if you're listening in, stop in, say hey, say thank you to Steven. Here we go. Andy 5943, a name I cannot pronounce, 5985, El Nini 2796, Sinister V7703, Brooklyn Bleed GC, Play Beyond 24. Ooh, I like that name, Play Beyond. That's nice. True Serum 1905, D. Oh wait, D said I just see red present icon and the message. Interesting. Morgan Kimes. Hey, you hit Morgan. Heck yeah. Fox Mamba. That's a Nate's girl. Mr. Johnson 81211. Craig Harris. Dominic Thornburg. The real Innate. Hey, you got the power couple on here. I like that.
Yep,
Gordon,
I got him.
Gordon W. Wara Wanna. Holy crap. He hasn't been a member of the channel in months. I didn't even know he was still subscribed. What's up, Wara? You got a gifted membership. Wood 76. Bubba. Hang on. People keep typing. Bubba Baby 001, Linda Nav, 7304, Cosmic Hero 2. Hey, Cosmic Hero Power Hour. And CBD2MI. Holy crap. That was a long list. Welcome in, guys. If you heard your name once again, come in and say hi. With that, let's say hi to the actual guest. And yeah, I guess I'm going to just go with start at the top and go down the list. So, Falky, what is going on, man?
Not much. I just finished another cup of coffee, so I'm a bit disappointed about that. But all good things must come to an end. Going all right.
Make more.
Getting there. Well, I'd have to get up and do, go to the kitchen and whatnot. So, anyway, no, all good. Tracking along all right. Enjoying the chaos and mayhem that comes along with this time of year, and yeah, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me again.
I'm sending you a picture so you can see my coffee that's on my desk right now, because that's why it took a tad longer than normal, because I had to go get my coffee. Because I was like, oh, it's gonna be a spicy show tonight.
Let's be honest and real here. Is it proper coffee, or is it that dirty water stuff that you get from some place called Starbucks?
So my buddy owns a coffee shop. He roasts his own beans. They're Guatemala Ecuadorian beans that he has brought in. He roasts them in-house. He roasts them to first crack and then backs it down so you don't get a lot of that burnt aftertone, but you get a lot of the brightness of the actual bean itself. And then I have a Lux Pro Ninja espresso machine here that grinds the beans at a 8 to a 10 setting and pulls the espresso shot at like 2 atmospheric pressure, I think. And yeah, so it's definitely proper
coffee.
I also make my own vanilla syrup. It's
Nice.
a simple syrup with Tahitian vanilla beans, not Madagascar.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, we
Nice.
talk about more than just gaming on this.
Listen,
For anybody who knows me more than just the fleeting glimpse on social media knows how much I enjoy and love coffee.
God,
Yeah.
me and coffee go way back.
Yeah.
I agree.
God,
Yes.
sounds like a
I
lot
grind
of
my own
work.
coffee, too.
Nah, dude, it ain't a lot of
I
work.
grab my own coffee. It's so good. And my wife cannot make the coffee, because if she makes the coffee, it comes out like crap. So, yeah.
Listen, I didn't know this is okay. This is off gaming, but I didn't know that my dad used to drink Folgers. Every old man drank Folgers back in the day. So
Well, that was back in the
Folgers
day,
used to be decent coffee in my mind, but my dad used to put 2 heaping scoops of coffee with a tablespoon in the thing and make a 12 potter. Or a 12 cupper. I didn't realize how wrong that ratio was until I made a friend, and that friend happens to be the owner of a coffee shop. Like, I didn't know that it was like an actual ratio of like something grams per every gram of espresso versus every gram of ground, and then the grind matters. I knew none of that. Filter, add water, and Folgers. Yes. And listen, if you have Folgers Black or Folgers Silk, I think is what it used to be called, that is halfway okay in a pinch. But okay, many of us are coffee snobs in Australia. Dude, I want to try some of that coffee. That's like the it's like they take the I don't even know what the hell it's called. They take like this metal like cylinder and put it into sand. And then, like, they use the sand almost, or what it looks like sand, to heat the coffee. I don't know. It's like Indian coffee or something. I have no idea.
Turkish
Turkish coffee.
coffee.
That's it.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
I've seen that before.
If
That stuff's crazy.
you ever get a chance to try that stuff traditional, it is so nice. Just don't drink the bottom half, because they leave the grinds in it.
Oh.
You're only supposed to drink the top half, and I know that because I learned that one the hard way.
Shoot, I like my coffee with a lot of the oils. I usually use a mesh filter, so I'm good. I like the oils. The oils
That's
make my
brilliant.
it's so
Brilliant
good,
stuff.
man. Have
See,
some
I know, it's-
coffee, dark coffee called Cowboy Mud.
Yep.
So
Yep.
good.
Mm.
If you ever out camping and you make your coffee, instead of taking the grinds machine like that, grind it up coarse, put it in a big sort of the tall I don't know, kettle, not kettles, whatever you guys call them. We call them billies, but
That
they're,
sounds right.
they're like a tall something like that. And not a small one, a big one, and just boil the shit out of it, and you'll get all the bitterness out of the coffee, and it'll get nice and strong, and you just keep it warm for days, and it's beautiful. The longer it sits there, and stews,
Sounds good.
the better it'll be.
I need to try that, because
Sounds good.
typically when you leave coffee out, the oils make it become rancid. and you start getting a sharpness to the back end of the.
You keep it on
Just
the fire.
depends.
Oh, you keep it. Oh,
keep it on the fire. So you boil it up and let it boil for 5 or 6 minutes, and then you pull it back and keep it on a sim, and you just keep it warm. And any time you want a cup, it's beautiful.
Oh.
That sounds good.
And roast them on the fire. So
Man,
what's
forget gaming. Let's talk about coffee all night.
No
Shoot,
shit,
this sounds
dude.
Great.
What's
Right
up,
our alley.
Rachie?
Sheesh.
Hey, listen. It's coffee is one of those things that I told Nate this before. Like, if somebody brings up coffee, I'm just screwed. This becomes a coffee podcast instantly.
Yep.
Like, all right.
We could be here for days. We could be here for days talking about it.
we
If I
actually
ever made
could.
Coffee Simulator, I'd buy it.
Speaking of that, Coffee Talk Tokyo comes out in 7 days. So
It does.
there is that. Speaking of a
Sounds
coffee
good.
simulator, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Anyways, and then 7 days after that, I kind of got bummed out because at some point I forgot that Wandering Sword had come out to PC. So I had asked Nate and Morgan if they were getting it. And Nate was like, no, the game's been on PC. If I wanted to play it, I could already have played it, but I might get it later. It might be a holdover for Adventures of Elliot, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, crap, it was on PC. Which means I was getting it confused with Sword and Fairy 4, the remake. So I'm still excited, but Wandering Sword comes out on the 27th. So, like, really, really excited about that. But yeah, if you want a coffee game, you need to go get Coffee Talk. You're literally making espresso for people and listening to their story. It's cool. Also,
That's cool.
Faulky, PSN
Yes.
has a barista simulator.
That sounds
There
good.
you go. Be back in 1 minute.
I know he playing it all night.
Next-
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get
I'm
me
making
started.
more
Next
I got
time-
the wife hooked on. I got the wife hooked on Power Wash Simulator, and then it was, oh, you love playing that. There's, I've got a pressure cleaner outside in cars. There's no. Just, it's your job.
Listen,
Do that stuff
one
in real life.
I can do in the air conditioning. One I can have to go outside. No, thank you.
Yeah, something like that. What did you say it was called? Barista Simulator.
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
it's on
that's
sale
cool.
for $8.
Oh,
Damn.
legend.
Wait, is the PSN sale already out?
There is one on at the moment.
I thought it came out tomorrow.
Oh, it started down here. Oh, it is tomorrow down here. Sorry.
Yeah, don't forget we're behind a day.
This is bullshit. Hang on.
Catch up, will you?
Freaking people who live in the future suck, man. Oh no, the next level savings is up. What? Let's see. Okay, so first off, it starts out Call of Duty, WWE
Of course.
2K26, The Show 26, Grand Theft Auto, and Flights. This is the same sale it was just a minute ago.
Yeah. Well, the amount of sales that they put up there, the same games show up in every freaking sale.
Every sale.
And they'll have 3 or 4 going at once. It's like they might as well just say, here's the top 75% of games that we sell. They're on sale. Just have fun.
Just here. Take it.
True.
Oh, all right,
Take-
Steven. How
What's
are
up?
you, sir?
I'm pretty good. Very good. Bit bummed that tried to order Hobbit for Magic the Gathering, and I tried to do it at Best Buy online, and it's like $800 for the collector's pack that I always get 2 of.
Oh yeah, don't do
like-
that.
I'm good.
Don't do
I'm
that.
good.
No, no,
I'm
no.
going to the store and talk to my buddies there. That's why I always get all these good deals. Yeah, and and also what I did was I got two PS5 Pros and a PS5 when it was before it stopped sales. So
So
have
you
like
were
a
the
little
reason it
investment.
spiked. You're the reason that they got all those
Heck
extra
yeah.
sales, man.
damn right.
It was
Damn
you.
right.
It was the fear mongering of Sony that took you out.
Hey, they're good at Film Monkey. Shoot, look what they do to the PS3.
Huh. I don't know if that was fear mongering as much as they got fear
I was
mongered.
afraid they were gonna go away.
No,
because
they
of
made us
that.
afraid. They weren't afraid. They made us afraid.
But what it did was it brought more people to Xbox, because if they didn't do that, Xbox wouldn't have existed.
Hey, speaking of
Be
that,
honest
let's
with
talk
you.
about this. Fuck it. We're not going to talk about anything else. Let's just talk about this. So, somebody made the comment in the Discord, because I posted something of some Xbox rage jerk dweeb, whatever he is. I have no words for people right now. I posted something I found on X. I went on X to get Faulky's link. I stayed on X for 5 minutes and got pissed off twice. Like, it... First was Asha asking if it was Xbox or Xbox. The bitch needs to shut up. Like, she needs to be quiet. She needs to hush. Please, I'm begging you. I want to stop having anything to say about you. Be quiet.
She's intelligent, but just not wise enough to keep her mouth shut.
Just literally.
And that's the thing. Just let, because they're starting to worship her. They're making her like a messiah or something like
so
that. So
this was the first thing
from all these people. It's crazy.
It's their cult behavior. That's what they do. They're a cult.
It is a cult. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't fully understand it, but then what really got me was this energy right here. And let me pull it up real quick. I'll show it. It's
here we go.
It's this energy right here that really, like, was just weird for me to see.
I'm still surprised you only got pissed off twice in 5 minutes on Twitter.
Well, I read some of the comments and they brought me back up because they made me laugh.
So you must have been a slow reader twice in 5 minutes.
Marathon flopped. God of War Sons of Sparta flopped. Saros flopped. PS5 sales took a huge dive in the last financial report. They didn't. They sold 1.5 less million. And Hunter's Gathering is next. Okay, so here's the thing.
Ooh.
I'm not going to lie. Marathon didn't do amazing. They had to write down a shit ton for Bungie. God of War Sons of Sparta probably didn't do amazing. We didn't hear anything, but I don't think it flopped. I think it might have made its money back. Maybe
it made what it was supposed to make, because that wasn't really. It was
just a fun title.
It was just a fun
put out.
title. It was just something they put out to have it be God of War. If it blew up, it blew up. If it didn't,
but like the energy of celebrating. Okay, so I understand what they're saying, and I don't think they're necessarily wrong on some of these things. I do think that Hunter's Gathering is going to flop. I do think Marathon is not. Yeah, like, but it's the celebration of it that just makes me like, wait. Now I know this is just like a meme, but it's the celebration that got me. I'm like, man, really? And then I put it in here, and I put it in the Discord. By the way, guys, you can join the Discord. I put it in there, and Henry said, didn't PlayStation make more money than ever? Which got me thinking. Yes, they did. They all-time record numbers. I don't know if they were all-time record. I don't care to know if they were all-time record. They made a ton of money. Cool. But here's what I put in the Discord. I said, in all honesty, PS could be doing so well this year because Xbox has messed up so much. PSIP has had a rough time since Ghost of Yotai. God of War SOS, so Sons of Sparta, didn't light the world on fire. Sorrow seems to need some massive boost in order to break even, quote-unquote, reports say. And Hunter's Gathering does look to be on the flop side of things. But yes, because PlayStation has better hardware and has had the better games, they make a ton of money. Also, to be clear, I love Saros and the price tag messed them up. So, that's kind of what I want to pivot to real quick. Is PlayStation making this amount of money because they are the de facto console now? Like, are they doing this well because they are the de facto console? Steven, I'll start with you on that question.
It could be. I mean, some of the games that they've put out, some of the games like was it Fair Games and things like that are still coming out. The
that Abomination, that thing.
Yeah, that one's.
I don't think that game makes it out. I really don't.
They've been hitting, but then they've been missing. I think Soros is a hit, but it's just people are. I think they're looking at what was their previous game? I keep forgetting. It was Returnal, and they're looking at that, and they're kind of having PTSD because of that, because they feel that it's going to be the same, and people some people liked it, a lot of people didn't. It was just one of those things that I hate repeating, but the thing is, it's a totally different game. It's like they fixed what was in Returnal, and they took what they had from Returnal and they kind of enhanced it. It made it a little bit easier for the normal people like me, you, Folky, or anybody else out there that's normal. ish. Well, I'm calling you, yes, you're Folky, you are normal. So yeah, we are. Not in finance. You're a god, somewhat. We don't worship you though. But it's one of those things, you know. But I'm just seeing a lot of things they're saying. It's like their sales. I mean, I helped their sales with buying the PS5s, Pros, and stuff like that. You know, I did. I helped. But the thing is, you know, they're doing okay. It's not like they're doing the best, you know, because prices are higher nowadays, and of course you're going to make more than last year because the prices were, you know, relatively lower than it was the year before. You know, it's one of those things. Like just before the generation before, you know, it wasn't, and plus, you know, that's one of those things. As you go up in generations, price is going to go high. You know, components and parts and things are going to go a little bit higher. You know, people are going to panic because, you know, because parts are higher, but yet, you know, what they're for is it's falling through. So you got to kind of wait it out, like stocks. You got to wait it out, see what's going on, you know, and write it out. You can't panic. You know, it's one of those things. They're doing well. It's just, you know, they want to do better, and that's the problem right there, I think.
Okay, Falky, same question to you, sir. What
was the question?
So, do you think that PlayStation is having had such a banger 2025 because Xbox screwed up so much, or do you think it was because of their IP and the strength of their brand, and so on and so forth?
Oh, they've had a strong year for multiple different reasons, and there's different parts in the financial reports which suggest different, you know, how they're performing in terms of that strength. Are we tying this back to the tweet you had up there before, or are we just talking in general?
Well, it started because of the tweet, but it was really just in general.
So, all right. So I'll link the two together. The tweet you had up before is this game flopped, this game flopped, this game flopped. Based off what metrics? People are saying that Marathon is a flop. Well, if it's got 2.2 million players in the first month, is that good or bad? Because they had to buy the game to play it. Like, what other games that'll sell 1 million copies in the first month are considered, you know, they've blown the doors off, absolutely smashed it. Other games that do 200,000 copies in the first 6 months, and they say that that's a massive success. There's Raichi saying in the comments, Marathon sold this, Gears did that. On PS5 and PC, totally different games, totally different audiences. To say that one's a flop and one's not based off those metrics. One's a brand new game of an old IP, and the other one's a remake of old IP combined with a whole heap of different parts to it. Is it really... Are we allowed to use colourful language tonight, or we got to?
Yeah.
Does it really fucking matter when the money's in the bank? I don't think it really matters at all. Sony took a massive write-down as part of their financials against Bungie. They'd already taken a write-down against the cash flow coming in from Destiny, specifically for Destiny 2, as an intangible IP, because it wasn't generating the cash flow that they were expecting it to make. So they had to write it down. They did the same thing with Bungie because they've gutted that organisation. It's no longer sitting out on its own. It's now in PS Studios, and they've carved 2/3 of the staff out of Bungie, shifted a whole heap of them around, and they've only got 2 games going. They're basically running support for Destiny at the moment until they figure out what they're going to do with it. And Marathon's launched, and it's getting content pushed forward. But to say that it's a flop when you've still got people playing it is nonsensical, because it depends on what it's generating and how it's consuming its resources. But then, you know, Sons of Sparta is a flop. Everyone screams at PlayStation. Go back to your roots. Go back to some kind of 2.5D side-scrolling. Do something different. Do something small. They do it. Oh, Sony, how dare you do this? This is garbage. This isn't what we want. Like, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. So anyone who's complaining about it should just basically go screaming in the void. If it's not something you're happy about, then it wasn't targeted at you. but someone's playing it and someone's enjoying it. What gives you the right to shit on their fun? So just take a breath, calm down, and if you can't do that, then fuck off social media, because all that's going to do is upset people, particularly the ones that are upset, not the ones who are enjoying the games. Has Sony had a good year? Yeah, they've had a fucking excellent year. It's not their best. It's one of their best on record for gaming. It's one of their best on record as an organisation as a whole. They took some pretty decent hits though, and they were able to weather that storm. They're set in a good spot going forward, but that doesn't mean that they're going to get through this thing unscathed. They've got a whole heap of stuff that needs to be addressed. They've restored their profit margin, but that's going to take a massive hit in the next 12 to 18 months. They've got issues around the timing and selling of their consoles in different market areas. In the strategy conversation they were having, talking about, the big headline was they haven't decided a date to release the PS6. Of course they haven't decided a date. They don't know whether they're actually going to be able to get them into the US or not at the end of 2027 without them costing over $1,000 because of tariffs and taxes and access to componentry and all that. But they were smart enough to go and invest with TSMC and a couple of other key manufacturers to ensure that they control the production line for the componentry, which is something that other console makers haven't done, which is why the Steam box has been delayed. And it's why they're having issues with Project Helix at Microsoft. So they're leveraging points that they've got to try and make things cheaper for themselves and be able to be competitive in that environment. But that's going to take money, that's going to chew up cash flow, that's going to take investment. They've already highlighted that's what they're going to do, but it doesn't mean that they're not without risk. The games that they've got coming are heavily leveraged off third party, which has been their business model since day one. Why are people surprised about this? Again, they will have small indie games all the way through to their big AAA games coming out of their studios. And if they got to lean them up and trim them up because they overcommitted when everyone went nuts doing the whole let's buy and acquire and let's, get all these things in-house, that was triggered off by not Sony, but that was triggered off by two other organizations who have also had to trim pretty hard. Like, it's nonsensical to sit there and go that they've had a horrible year when the financial performance says otherwise. But the games have said otherwise. There's a plethora of games available to play on. If you're saying that, Sony's having a shit year and all you're doing is looking at their first party, Sony has a shit year every year because they, on average, only release two or three first party games every year. So if that's all you're buying it for and that's all you're looking at to grade them, then you're constantly going to be in a state of non-flux. But you're also going to miss out on some of the best games that have ever been made because they all come from third parties who aren't a platform owner or an ecosystem owner. There's a huge amount of stuff available on there. The pricing is an issue. That's going to be an issue going forward for everyone. They're doing their best to combat that, but that's not just in console land, that's in everything. So, play to what you want to play. Their cash flow is insanely good now. They've fixed that problem. They've fixed their profit margins. They've addressed their investment flows. They've sorted out their production issues. And they've managed to solidify their standing in most markets against their competitors. I don't see how you could say they've had a horrible year. And if you are, then you're not paying attention or you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, so that is the answer, right? I mean, that is the answer to the question. Of course, they're having a great year. Look at the financials; they're amazing. They're wonderful. But I guess the question that I had asked was, sure, they're doing great, but are they doing great because third party, the best place to play it on a console at least, is on PlayStation. First party, best place to play them, only place to play them seemingly going forward, PlayStation. So, are they experiencing this success financially without a really stellar. No, I guess you did answer that because you answered that they only release 2 to 3 first-party IP games a year. And so, okay. All right, cool. So the guy's an idiot. Got it. That's fair. Okay, so I missed the chats. Hang on, guys. What y'all saw playing of Soros was actually me playing Soros, so I kind of zoned out on the chat listening to Falky. Saying Will 777JP says saying Marathon is a flop is like saying a blue collar worker is a flop because they did not hit the lotto and made it rich. It's a ridiculous statement.
So everyone's saying Marathon's a flop, Marathon's this, Marathon's that. Marathon currently has more active players than Destiny 2.
Mm. Hey, that's a good sign. Even I know that that's a good sign.
Well, but the thing is with Destiny 2 is they have no new content. So there's not, everyone's doing something different. I'm playing it off and on every once in a while because I still play it. It's just that the content is not there. So the people have to fill their itch for playing a, first person shooter kind of hero shooter kind of thing. And they go to different things. I've been playing Path of Exile 2 a little bit more, leveling characters, new patch coming out, things like that. It's not just that Marathon took a lot of their PvP players too, because that's more of a PvP PvE kind of game, looter shooter kind of thing. So they took a lot of their PvP players, but the PvE players, there's nothing for them to do really. So I can understand why Marathon's going to do better, because there's nothing to do in Destiny 2 right now, and I don't see anything for the foreseeable future because of what they're trying to do with Marathon. They're trying to get the Marathon up and running a little bit more. It's rough to have two of them go at the same time and not divide it up. They have to focus on one, and Marathon is their focus at this point in time.
And I think that's the thing that surprised me the most about that whole situation was the massive write-down, everything that Falky mentioned earlier, the massive write-down, the 2/3 gutting, the bringing it under PlayStation, Bungie, yep. It's strange because I think, and even I had the thought that whenever they were first purchased, I was like, you know what, if they do start to tank, then PlayStation will just cut them off and they'll go back independent and we won't have to worry about it. They've done it before. I figured they'd do it again. What I didn't know at the time was that PlayStation was smarter than that and said, no. If y'all screw up, we take over. You don't get this back. You don't get another chance. You don't get to sell off to another place. You just become us. Like, because I thought Bungie was going to get just cut out and removed, and just like they did when they left. Blizzard. Thank you. Was it Blizzard?
No. It was EA. I think they were with EA for a little bit. I think,
and then they were with Microsoft also, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they were with Microsoft. Went over to Activision. And then from Activision became their own thing again. And then I was just like, man, this is third time's the charm, man. This is just going to be third time's the charm. They're going to come over. They're going to, if it goes back. Okay, Activision never owned them. Will 777JP said, David, I love you. Reggie said, flop is the word everyone uses when something doesn't hit the sales number. It's cultural. Now it is. It's like woke or it's like woke, flop. Oh crap! What was the one that got real big last year? It wasn't woke. It wasn't flop. Oh shoot, I can't remember. But there's always these buzzwords that hit, and they'll be used for a few months, and then we won't hear them again for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they end up back in the headlines. Let's see. Hero says the only reason Bungie isn't easily axed is because of the sunk cost and the potential rebound. I mean, they've made great games. They were with Activision, and then they bought their way out. Okay, so they were with Activision, started doing really well enough to buy themselves out of their contract and then leave. Okay.
Yeah, but they're not. That's not ever going to happen.
Nope. Not now.
Sony owns Bungie as a brand, and the people who were running Bungie at that time no longer there, and it's done. The ones that were onboarded when they were with Microsoft before they got out of that, they've all been kicked out as well. They were some of the senior managers were the first ones to get turfed out when they missed the sales mark with the first major update after PlayStation bought them, which led to the write-down anyway. But yeah, PlayStation barely paid would have barely paid $1 billion out of that 2 point whatever billion in the deal, and most of that went to employees anyway. And they've gutted it, and they've just dragged it to pieces, or they've cut it to pieces. So Marathon will do its thing for however long, and if they get 2.5 or 3 years out of it, that'll be fine. They'll just let it trickle along until they got the next project to work on. Otherwise, they'll just shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because what do you need 15 different studio names for?
Listen,
If they, you know,
I kind of asked Microsoft that too. You know, hey, what do you need 40 some odd studios when you don't even do anything with the ones that you got?
well,
Maybe
I mean,
Forza.
Will's in
That's
the
it.
chat right now, and that's something that Will has always, been about, even with during the early stages of buy everything.
Yeah.
You start getting to a point, and Falky, you explained it a long time ago to me very well, that the reason Saros was $70 is because of the overhead that comes with being a PlayStation studio. Like if an independent studio made that not owned by PlayStation, or even a second party deal with PlayStation, you're probably looking at a $60 game, maybe even a $50 game. Like, and then we're talking totally different sales numbers. I think at that point they bring in $1 million within the first couple weeks. I think that, and you know what, they might have. There was a guy, William Aguilar, most of y'all know him. He's on X, who pointed out that whatever the hell their name is, the analytic company that nobody likes, that says that they've only sold 300K within the first 2 weeks. They've been off as much as 15-20% in the negative. So undershooting, and they've also been off as much as $1 million in sales numbers. They were off with $1 million with Ghost of Yote, with what they thought it did in the first little bit that it was out, and blah, blah, blah. So it's not the end all be all. We haven't heard a shutdown thing. We haven't heard anything. That's why I didn't want to focus so much on the numbers, but kind of use it to transition into the topic of word of mouth and the games that we have played because of word of mouth. So what I mean by that is games tend to, if they hit the zeitgeist just right, can be this big, huge cultural movement almost. Hollow Knight Silksong, for as little and short of a time period that thing was a movement, it caught fire, it rode that fire, and it was gone in 2 weeks, but it had a big burst for that little bit of time. Everybody. I have a buddy of mine who literally plays Pokemon and Zelda, ended up getting Hollow Knight Silksong on the Switch, played 40 hours into it, bought little figurines for it, has it up in his house, never beat the game, and won't touch it again. But he did all of that during the 2 weeks that it was super hyped. So word of mouth and the hype train and all of that can definitely help a game. But outside of just discussing that, I want to talk about games that we found because somebody else recommended them, or because it's a game that we heard about. I'll go first. For mine, it's Coffee Talk. That's one that's always going to stand out to me as, holy crap, I had no idea I would like this game at all. And that was a Morgan and a Nate special on that one. It was straight up word of mouth just from them. And then the other one would be, crud. The dude, it's just Henry. They're making a second one. What the hell's the name of it? Crap. Ruiner. There we go. Ruiner's the other one. I'd had a duping episode with a top-down isometric game that turned into be a Vampire Survivor style game. So I was real sad. And he sent me that and was like, hey, you should play this. And I did. And it was awesome. So those two games, though, and their subsequent sequels, I have played or will play because I started off with word of mouth. So we started out with Faulky or Steven on the last one. We'll go back to Faulky on this one. Faulky, what's a game that comes to mind when you think about like somebody, hey, told you to play this and you're like, man, it's not really my thing, but you tried it and you just fell in love. What, do you have a game like that?
Oh, you're asking me to scratch my brain pretty hard here.
And in the chat too.
Yeah. So it's the most recent one that I can think of was Unicorn Overlord. I hadn't played a tactical JRPG for a number of years. I think the one previous to that was a tactical, was a RTS JRPG in Valkyrie Chronicles 4, and I loved that. That was more of a recommendation from a YouTube channel rather than anything else. But yeah, I was pointed in the direction of Unicorn Overlord from some acquaintances and friends who are massive JRPG fans, and they just raved about it, and I thought, well, it popped up in the service. I thought I'll give it a try, and loved it. Absolutely loved it. Put over 100 hours into it.
It's the cool.
That's the one that's probably the most recent. There's been a few smaller indie games that I've played on recommendations and whatnot, but yeah, that's probably the most recent major one.
Now, was Dave the Diver on recommendation?
No. Dave the Diver was... I saw the promo for it and went, oh, this looks pretty cool. I'll give it a go. It's sort of in my wheelhouse, and that one was, yeah, I just picked that one up and thought, this is mad fun.
Dave was like, nah, man, that was my jam all the way.
The Plucky Squire was another one. It was recommended. And I thought it's just a short game, I'll fit it in. Actually, it was Retro who recommended that one to me.
Okay.
He goes, you'll love this for various different reasons, but the bugger wouldn't tell me why. He said, go and play it, you'll figure it out. And I did. And I loved it and thought it was mad fun. So
okay.
it was it was almost like a homage to like the boss fights, were all these different things, just different game styles and play patterns and whatnot. And yeah, I loved it. So.
Yeah, there were a couple people in the Discord who played that game that said it was a fun little game that they really enjoyed. It was that, and Blueprints was another one that I had been led to. But Steven, what about you, man?
The one that you recommended at one point, Path of Exile 2. Yeah. That one, yeah, that kind of got me. I'm about 1,300 hours into it already. I don't know. You know, that was a pretty good one.
Sorry.
You know, I kind of still play it, you know.
I know you do.
Every once in a while. No, but it also Deliver at All Costs. I watched Will play it one night, and I know I was on, and I was just making comments, and we were cracking up. It was just really funny, and it seemed really fun. I played it for a little bit. You know, I haven't gone back to it. Path of Exile always got me, but it's a fun game. It's something that you know that can get you frustrated a little bit, but you can crack up as you go through it. And the Precinct also was pretty good too. You know, I'm kind of like into the top down kind of side, the scrolling kind of things. Also, although I do play Destiny. But yeah, I mean, those are the kind of games that I've always kind of gravitate to. I played, you know, Baldur's Gate, the first one, second one. I played Doom, Diablo 1, 2, not 3 or 4, but 1 and 2. Love those, but you know, those were always my jam back in the day. But other than that, yeah, I mean, those are the two games that I've played with.
Okay,
and,
so
that I like.
So let's go look at the chat.
I mean,
and see.
All right. All right. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be back.
You're good. let's go look at the chat and see what anybody has said over here. So somebody said that's an addiction. I don't know what that was too. Hades was from Hero. Nate said he was hyped for Plucky, but still has yet to play it. Thinking about buying Entropy Effect. Don't like roguelike, side scroll roguelike. Okay, so let's see. The Precinct, that was me and Morgan's jam. This is from a Nate. Give me a second.
Yeah, Precinct is cool. Precinct is cool.
Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. So let's talk about games now that we got recommended, that we purchased, or that we played, and that we hated. So we're going to go on the other side of it now. So for me, I got recommended Arc Raiders. I was told I'd really enjoy it, told that it was really fun loop, told that it wasn't too sweaty, told that I'd really have a great time. Well, needless to say, that was the worst $40 I'd ever spent, and I wasted about 22 hours of my life that I'll never get back. That was, I say that because Lost Soul aside, nobody recommended that. I just purchased it on my own dumbass accord. But that was a thrifty special. That was me. That was all me. But on Arc Raiders, I think it started out fun, and then because I didn't see the progression tree, I didn't. There was. It felt like just putting yourself into a meat grinder every time you went in. And I did not enjoy that at all. It was such a slog. And I don't have time to be playing games where I can't progress, where I can't do certain things. Like, y'all see me playing Saros right now. I can go back and I can show y'all where I'm at with primary. And I can show y'all the upgrades I have. Every single time I die, I get to upgrade something. And that's a big deal when it comes to games that expect me to redo areas. Like, are you going to let me progress as I'm redoing them? Or am I just getting kicked in the nuts every single time I go in? And one game did that and this one doesn't. And so that's mine. I'm so mad at that game. It was such a waste of $40. And I know it's only $40, but my gosh, it just chaps my hide because it just sucked. I should have spent those 20 hours playing Battlefield 6 with Isu and just had a great time over there. Not worried about anything else. Steven, what about you, man? Have you played a game? Have you gotten recommended a game and been like, oh, that thing sucks?
Throne and Crown. It was a MMO that my brother recommended. I thought at first it seemed okay. It just, after a while, it didn't get me. I played WoW like since beta, so I understood, what I liked about WoW, and it did not get it. The game did not catch me. I mean, it was slow, sluggish. It really didn't feel rewarding. Also, Titan Quest 2. That one because of I like Path of Exile 2, and I was like, all right, cool, maybe this will be good. Titan Quest 1 was okay. Nope, boring as hell.
Wait,
it's like, man,
you said which? Wait,
Titan Quest 2.
Titan Quest. Okay, I heard Titanfall for some reason, and I was about to throw hands.
Titanfall's fun too. I like Titanfall. Titanfall's fun. What are you talking about? So do not don't. That's in vain, buddy. No.
I was about to throw hands. I was like, wait a minute.
You can throw hands with Titan Quest too. It was okay.
They're making the third one.
Hey, good. I'm glad.
They are making the third one.
I'll play that one too. Shoot, Mass Effect too. Mass Effect is. I want that one bad. I want that one bad. Andromeda. Even though I liked it, it was kind of.
It was so
like
bad.
The ending was like, I have to buy a book to find out the endings. No, I'm good.
The whole thing, I couldn't get past the second planet. I didn't care to keep going. I was like, you know what? This isn't Commander Shepard. I don't care. And it was bad. I kept glitching out, and when I would try to block behind something, I kept glitching out to where, and like the roll wouldn't not the roll, but like the dash wouldn't dash. It freaking sucked. And so I just stopped playing. And The fact that I was going to go back to it like a year or so ago, and I read that they didn't even do any like patching to it. Like after the initial round of patches, which didn't fix anything, they just said cool and left it. Like it did not go very well. Let me see if Faulky is back.
I'm with you, Nate. Yeah, it was Mass Effect Andromeda was okay. It was great. The gameplay was great. The story sucked. Sorry, but the thing is, with Mass Effect, the story was one of the key components to, what we were doing, what you were doing. You want to see your character grow. You want to see what he did. What love interest. Blah 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 blah. No, it just was like, meh, okay. And then the endings were garbage, just like 3's endings was garbage. You could tell me all you want, the 3 colors, but yeah, no, that was stupid. Sorry. You can say it was good. It was
no, the ending
complex.
to 3 was
It was dumb.
It was very dumb. It's the same thing I hated about Final Fantasy 16. It's the same thing. Listen, the Messiah story has been told a lot. It really has. And what I mean by that is the Messiah story is the basic premise, based off of the Bible verse that says, greater love has no man than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. So the hero of the story has to lay down his life to save his friends. And it happens so much in RPGs, in JRPGs. It's like, if the rest of the world wants to survive, everybody has to die. Or you can be the one to die, and then everybody else gets to live. And it's like,
I always want to save my friends in those games.
Like, me too.
I'm not that type of person. Shoot, I throw myself into a butt in real life. I throw myself into a bus to save my friend.
But it made everything that I had just done, all the relationships I just built, seem like I did it for nothing. And I'm not saying every game has to have a happy ending, but like if in the end, my guy that I've been busting my butt for to keep alive, to figure out all this, to save the day and do all of that, to build all these relationships with, and now at the end of the day, he doesn't get to enjoy them after the mission, that kind of sucks. Like,
he did die in 2. He did die in 2 for a little bit.
Yeah, but then they brought him back in 3.
Yeah.
Well, they brought him or her back in 3.
Also. In 2 also. In 3, yes. He died in 2. Oh, no, he died in 3. And then he came back. The Lazarus Project.
Yes. Yes, that is correct. No, they start the 3rd one off with the Lazarus Project.
Yep.
Because everybody's wondering how he came back. And then it comes to find out that that's how he can be male or female in that game. Because that's how they got around it. He could be Lazarus as a female.
Okay.
Listen, I am just telling you, Commander Shepard could have been a female. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
according to the game.
That's fine. I can see that. I can see Commander Shepard being male, female. That's fine. Just put it that way. That's cool. I ain't tripping. I'll play as a girl.
And Nate said that's why I call it Devil May Cry Fantasy, because I refuse to acknowledge that game. That's funny. That's funny.
Oh man. But the thing is, we got to get over what we were before. I mean, dude, it was different back then.
Hell no, screw that. I'm gonna play Wandering Sword on the 27th. I'm then gonna play Sword and Fairy Remake sometime by the end of this year, beginning of next year. Atlas is gonna come out with something. Square Enix is still gonna be trying to reinvent them damn selves, and they're gonna screw it up again. They have lost so much of their core fan base because they've allowed these other companies to come in, and people are hungry for these stories. They're hungry for these games. And when Square Enix is not delivering them, see what you done did? When Square Enix is not delivering those games, people go elsewhere for them. It's the same reason why people are leaving Xbox. The games just aren't there. So if the games aren't there, what do? You go where the games are.
And Clair Obscur is the biggest example.
And Clair Obscur was an Xbox Game Pass game. So explain that shit to me. Explain that shit to me.
It still sold well, and it's critically acclaimed game. So,
but won. PlayStation should have peed all over that thing, and somehow they did. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I don't know how.
Just like Microsoft did get Spider-Man.
I know.
They didn't think they could. Yeah.
I know.
So,
They
I mean,
didn't.
it's
They
one of
didn't
those
think it would
things.
be viable. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and it's one of the best freaking franchise out there. But they don't understand us as comic book nerds who freaking want to play. Like Wolverine's going to be freaking amazing. If they make a Hulk game, I'm buying 10 copies just to do it to support him because I love the Hulk and that's my freaking jam. That's my man. Planet Hulk, World War Hulk. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mortal Hulk. Damn right.
So Nate just said this. Expedition 33 ate their RPG lunch, and that's coming from someone who has played 99% of Square's RPGs. As of right now, Square Enix don't have the sauce, and I don't know if they can get it back. I don't think that they can get it back. I don't think that they can get it back at all. I think they're gonna. I'm happy that the same team has worked on the Final Fantasy VII trilogy.
Yes.
So I can get that finished and be done. That's the last thing that I'm holding with
I'm
them.
looking forward to that too.
And
looking forward to that.
if a Nate keeps talking up and Henry keeps talking up Adventures of Elliot, I may end up grabbing that as well because I heard today that it's a Zelda-like RPG with actual RPG elements, which will be really cool to have for the first time ever. So
What are you guys smoking? What are you talking about?
With Zelda.
Hey, he's back.
Zelda. Can't stand Zelda. Sorry.
Yeah, same here. I cannot stand Zelda.
I mean,
what
you go,
are
"Oh,
you
Zelda,"
guys
I'm
carrying
like,
on about?
And I love Final Fantasy more than I love Zelda.
we were really just talking about video games. Like truth be told, he got me off on a tangent for
Yes.
I don't even know where I got
I'm
there.
a tangent.
How.
I'm a tangent connoisseur.
I've come back, and all I'm hearing is talking about they've lost the source and they can't get the source back, and they'll never get it back. I'm like, what source are we talking about here?
Oh, okay.
Square
Enix.
Enix.
Yeah, so he got me on to... they talked about Mass Effect, and then they got onto the ending of Mass Effect. Then I brought in the Messiah storytelling, where, everybody uses the greater love has no man than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. And, a lot of RPGs in that way. And it's getting tiring, and it's getting annoying when that is the main way that you have to resolve the conflict is, the bad guy has to kill the main guy so everybody else can survive. And then somehow the bad guy loses because of the ultimate sacrifice being paid. Yes, Harry, your mother loved you. Good job. That's...
Either way, all the Mass Effect endings were bad.
And
They're all bad.
Then
The
that
bad guys
pulled us...
won.
That pulled us over
the bad guys won out
into
of it,
Final Fantasy,
no matter what.
which pulled us into Square Enix, which pulled us into Square Enix has lost the sauce.
If you think that for anyone out there, and I will argue this with everybody, I don't care, I'll die on this hill. If you think that Final Fantasy is the best JRPG or RPGs that Square Enix has, you are deluded.
They used to be.
It is not their best RPG or JRPG.
It used to be, is what we're saying.
Oh, it never has been.
What was your best?
Wait.
6 and 7 are the only good ones that have made in Final Fantasy where they would rank with some of the others that Square had.
Excuse me?
10 was pretty good too.
10 was
good
awesome.
Too. 10 was a great story. It kind of threw you off at the end.
It goes 10,
it goes deep.
6, and it goes 10, 6, and then Chrono Trigger.
For me, 7, 10, 6, and maybe 9.
Now,
maybe.
I put Chrono Trigger in...
Chrono Trigger's all right.
Well, no, because I have Final Fantasy
VIII.
8.
Better than Dragon Quest? Or Octopath Traveler?
I like Dragon Quest.
The Mana series, or the Bravely series.
Well, now, that's why I'm saying, back in the day, Final Fantasy did used to be their best. Now? No. Hell no.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Everybody knows it's their HD 2D segment that's kicking ass right now. That's not in discussion, which means they've lost the sauce on how to make a AAA JRPG.
Who makes AAA JRPGs?
That's also the other question, isn't it? Because I would look to Expedition. Well, yeah, Persona, but Expedition 33 made a AAA, but they did it on a AA budget with a AA studio.
Expedition 33 is not a AAA game.
Sure.
But it outperformed the AAA game. It's outperforming the AAA game, so it's actually just as good as the AAA game. It doesn't matter if it's a AAA game. Yep.
Exactly. And it put them on notice too.
That argument. So
If-
I like that.
sure.
But I like that. I mean, you have to light the fire under these corporations that think that they can put out slop, AI slop, or anything else slop.
That's
that,
the
hey,
word.
this
That was
co-
the
this
hot button
company-
word from
slop,
last year.
yep,
Slop. That's it.
Slop is still good because AI is around and they're calling it AI slop. But here's the thing: once you're starting to, you put out the same old garbage over and over again, and you're not. That's like you lost your soul. You lost your ability to tell that story. That's the problem. That's why AI is not going to be. They think it's going to be. It's not going to be as great. That's why Sony's not fully embracing AI like Microsoft is, because AI has no soul.
Wait, how did we get on AI from here? Help me.
I don't know.
Okay.
I messed up, made the slop. Okay, no AI.
I wondered how
their
AI
slop.
got into Final Fantasy and Square Enix.
Because
and
that's
the
a lot of these
RPGs.
ARGBs are going to probably be made by those again sometime down the line. Who knows?
well, it's if you look at the core of a JRPG, there's specific elements that make it a JRPG just as opposed to any other normal RPG, right? And traditionally and ongoing, they exist in the 2.5D, or a modified 2D realm, and examples across all the big Japanese 6 publishers around what their benchmark JRPGs are, and even some of the indie studios that make them as well. They are never going to be or able to crack into a AAA area, because you can see how much trouble they have when they try to do it. It just doesn't fit in. Now, the ones that are doing the best at, they got some of the best storytelling and some of the best battle sequences and gameplay mechanics, all that. They don't require huge amounts of investment to be able to achieve really good outcomes, provided that the studio that's building them hasn't got this massive overhead crushing them. But I would argue, just going back to the point, I would argue, and I will continue to argue this. I'm a massive Final Fantasy fan. It's not the best JRPG that Square has in their portfolio, and I'd argue it's not in the top 5 JRPG series out of any of the Japanese 6. That doesn't mean I don't like them, but to say that Square's lost the source and they're never going to get it back, Square rarely makes any decent AAA games. And they haven't for a very, very, very long time.
Yes, I agree with the second statement, not the first.
Nope.
I agree with your
I
second
haven't seen
statement.
any of their other ones hitting as hard as Final Fantasy has.
Dragon Quest is massive.
Yeah,
Dragon
but
Quest
not
is
like
bigger than
Final
Final
Fantasy.
Yep.
Not really.
It is. Dragon Quest
Combined?
is bigger than Final Fantasy. Yep.
Combined, all of them.
Yep.
That's all right.
All right, now
Dragon
wait a
Quest
second.
was never
David
my
is pretty
jam.
confident in this. Give me just a sec. Hang on. David's pretty confident in this. I have the technology to look this up. Hang on.
Everyone does. Come on, now it's Google.
That's true. How much has the Dragon Quest franchise sold? All right, so let's just do the quick AI thing. Over 97 million units worldwide in the series' 40-year history. This is as of February 2026. Okay? The
Dragon
franchise, that's million units sold. The franchise has generated over 19 billion globally, with over 12 billion coming from video game sales and 7 billion from other... Okay, so 12 billion video games. And let's just change this. This is, of course, the Google AI giving me that, but they do cite their sources from GoNintendo.com and a couple others that I can't see now. Ooh, everybody's typing. It's so angry.
We want to know.
We want to know. I want to know. I'll get canceled.
No.
Okay. Okay, so Final Fantasy series sales top 207 million units worldwide.
Including 14?
Hang on. Loading.
If it doesn't include 14, then that's great. If it does, then, I can see that too.
Okay, this is Square
They're
Enix
about
announced
on
last
par.
month That has,
Oh, and I'm not
that's
pooping
free.
on Dragon Quest. I love Dragon Quest.
They have sold
It's
207 million units
I don't
worldwide.
like it
This
as much
figure is up
as-
from 203 million units. So they didn't sell that many last year. The Square Enix Group, blah blah blah. Wait a second, hang on. Sold 207 million units to the Square Enix Group company's portfolio, intellectual properties, including Final Fantasy, which has sold over 207 million units worldwide, and Dragon Quest, which has sold over 95 million units worldwide. So there is a disparity.
Final Fantasy doubled it.
There is a disparity. And this is as of 2026.
Right. There you go.
And so, yeah,
getting
it's...
corrected.
Yeah, it is their biggest
But they're
franchise.
great.
Now,
But the
is
thing
it...
why we're fighting over semantics? Because it's from
No,
the
no,
same
no.
company.
But
It's
is
great.
it their best
They're both
franchise now? No. I would say no. I would say that it's nostalgia bait
Never
at
has
best.
been.
And yes, it has.
It has
Whew.
never.
6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 were goated. It was the
Oh,
golden
8
era
was
of Final
horrible.
Fantasy. 8 was amazing. It's the best love story ever. 8 was fantastic.
Have you ever played a Yakuza game?
Yes, I've played a Yakuza game.
They're funny. That's all they are.
Yes, exactly. They have no substance. I usually fizzle out on them after about 20 hours.
Oh, you guys are horrible. You're horrible.
They're
Play
just
Yakuza
slaps.
Zero.
I'd rather play. I'd rather play
Yakuza Zero
Doki
and Final
Doki.
Fantasy VIII is a love story.
Final Fantasy VIII,
A lot of
Renoa
them
and
were
Squall.
love story.
It is a love
And
story. They were
Squall?
freaking long lost orphans that get back together after having their memory wiped, and love brings back their memories and brings them back together. How is that not a...
but yeah, I
he
understand.
goes in space to grab her. How is this not a love story? How is
But
it...
see, Falky's too analytical to understand these
No, he's
stories.
not.
It's okay, brother. It's okay. I mean,
No,
it's
it's
okay.
not.
It's still, if it's not numbers,
But he did... Exactly.
it doesn't correlate.
And
It does not
Squall
correlate.
didn't have to die to save the Earth. He got to live.
Oh, you guys are
Oh,
a
except,
hoot.
you know,
Squall...
I love you, man.
God.
I just had to.
Oh my Lord. We're going to go to a different topic now.
We're gonna go to an ad break and get some sensibility back in.
My
this.
blood pressure's up now. Like my
I'm
coffee's
trying
hit.
to. I don't. Hey, but the thing is, it's the same company. I just want Square to go back to being.
But they never will because we like
That's it.
Square. We don't like Square Enix. That's the problem.
Never say never. We can never say never. Okay,
No,
if they
that
come
never
out with a live act, if they come out with 6, like 7, I'd be happy. A little bit. I'd just be happy a little bit, just to like. Please, you're trying. You're trying. 16 is an action game. It's not an RPG. That's all it is.
No.
It was
Listen,
good. It was
if-
good. I liked it. But it was just an action adventure game. That's all.
if
I
there's
thought.
not an elemental based combat system, but you give me elemental weapons, I take off points immediately. It's like you can't fool me. I'm not stupid. This is a fire weapon, and I am killing things that are water based. That should not be happening. Also, I should be healing the bomb and not dealing damage to it. But you know, who the fuck am I to tell them how to do a thing that they've been doing for 20 years at that, 30 years at that point? God. Oh, I could. Anyways, next, Skip.
Those are fighting words there. Damn.
Yeah.
Strong.
Thank you, Josh. Who cares? Y'all gonna get me. Y'all gonna get me. Let's talk about Sega. Sega had a bad fucking day. Sega had a terrible day, and Sega has to cancel $882 million super game. Details schedule for upcoming games. So this is from Game Informer. The article I originally posted, I think, was from VGC. I saw the Game Informer one, looked at its format and like formatting, and I just liked the way it read a little bit better. So Sega has canceled its super game, which was originally revealed as in development in 2021 with a budget of $882 million. That's GTA 6 levels. Yeah, supposedly. It has the USD symbol in front of it, so supposedly.
Sure, it's not pesos.
Bro, I didn't know Sega had that much money. When it was announced, all signs pointed to the super game being
That's why I had to cancel it.
it was going to be a single player game. I'm going to get through this first paragraph. But we later learned super game was a title Sega used to describe the various games with large budgets. Great. So they were working on various titles for $882 million. That at least makes me feel a little bit better. In the 5 years since the Super Game announcement, we never did learn exactly what these games were, with no formal announcement or titles associated with the descriptor. But now, thanks to the latest financial reports from Sega, it's clear we'll never really know. So basically, they had a really bad quarter, or a really bad year, and they lost like $32 million in whatever revenue. They did not do very well. Now they have to cancel this title. So I look at Sega and I see Sonic. Sonic seemingly still does pretty decent. Even there. Hey, Will, you have a good night too, man. I just saw your message, man. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Will 777JP, member for 7 months, using that gifted membership from Steven, said, have a great rest of the show, man. I appreciate it. And he called us gentlemen. How sweet. He must have been talking to the other two. So Sega, I look at them and I see Sonic, and I see the Sonic movies, and I see the IP and how strong it's been, and the comeback it's had, and the game Sonic Frontiers that even people who played it, a lot of folks gave it a 7, but they said that game at least showed potential and was moving the series in the proper direction, and they were excited for a Frontiers 2 or like a continuation. I've played it. I actually own the game. It's not terrible. It's a big adjustment from playing like one of their other non-side scroller Sonic games. It's a little different, and it's a little bit of an adjustment, and it's really weird because they have some levels that do remind you of some of the 3D Sonic titles where it has you running into the screen and not side scrolling. I'm messing up my descriptions here, but everybody I think understands what I'm saying. And like folks have been really excited about it. Sonic 2 made a killing. Sonic 3 made a killing. They got a spin-off. They got Knuckles TV show. That did okay. Like, it didn't light the world on fire or anything, but it did okay. And so it's hard for me. And then they own the shit. We just talked about it. Yakuza. They own that series. They own that franchise. So like, where are they screwing up? Like, that's my thing.
You want to know what their biggest issue was? They bought a mobile gaming company. That's what their problem started with. Same as what Take-Two and Microsoft and a whole heap of others did. The write-down that they copped for Rovio was insane.
Nelson said that better be in rupees. The 882 million. That's
I don't
funny.
see where you're getting that, where they can pull that number from. Like
the 882 million?
Yeah, where's that number coming from?
Well, I just tried to click on that financial report that's linked in the document, and it ain't taking me nowhere. Let me use the original link because it actually had some of the hard numbers on it. So the formatting is better, the way it reads is better, but the information is not as in depth. So let me pull this over here real quick. Well, where did it go? There's the Sony portfolio, PS catalog, Capcom, Saros, Mouse PI, and the Sega one. That's weird. The Sega stuff did not ever come over. Let me find it again. It was on VGC, so it shouldn't be that hard for me to grab.
Yeah, but those guys aren't always the best at their
No, but they usually give you links.
Yeah.
And that's what I really want, because I think they had the actual financial report linked. Capcom, Assassin's Creed, Saros, Steam. PlayStation exec says the next few years of unannounced games is unbelievably positive. There's no... What the... Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, don't get into that. That one's a clickbait one.
Okay. I was like, I missed that. Okay, I'm actually not seeing the dang article now. That sucks. That had the actual links to it. Damn it. Hang on. Sega financial report. there it is. It's the game industry.bids. Sega reports a 31.6 million net loss fiscal year 26. Cancels Super Game Project amid pivotal strategy pivot. 848 billion, 259 million. I'm looking now.
The reason I ask is because what it says in the report is that they've decided to cease, or they've decided to cancel the Super Game, so no additional costs associated with the cancellation.
Yeah.
So they're not losing. They've already spent the money. So
it's not like they're having to write down the. Okay,
No.
well,
But
you know what, guys?
They can't.
Scratch what the fuck I said about Game Informers. Because the gamesindustry.biz article was way better.
They've done a write down on Rovio on that purchase. They've had to do that impairment because they just never got the money out of it. But that's not $800 million worth. So.
But like, even the sales of Crossworld, like, didn't do anything. Football Manager, we all kind of knew that wasn't going to just break down the door. Like, those titles never do. The head coach titles, any of those type, the manager simulators, they don't necessarily do very, very well. Yeah, so Hero just said that DeepSeek, speculation is 800 million. Okay, never mind. I don't like to get into speculation on here unless I announce it at the very beginning. So...
Speculating on speculating.
Yeah, speculating on speculating.
You could get a job on Wall Street doing that.
So, a 200 million... Okay, so that's where... Okay. Hey, you know what? Falky, if I'm looking at this correctly, help me. If I'm looking at this correctly, 200 million impairment loss, but only having a total loss of 31.6 million... That's reflecting the impairment losses from Rovio and from Stack Logic. That doesn't sound like... That sounds like they were able to eat a lot of that and not take a massive ass hit on it.
That's taking a big one in the teeth and...
being able to tell the story?
Yeah, pretty much. So that's,
Jeez. Okay.
If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. That's better than what Take-Two had to deal with Zynga or whatever it was.
Gosh.
They had to wear a $3-point-something billion loss there, and it chewed the shit out of them.
Is Zynga even still around?
It is, barely.
They used to have like the farming simulator game on Facebook, didn't they?
Something like that. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're still around.
That's the thing. Is you have to take an impairment. You never take impairments when things are going well, but if you can end up in a loss position, which is only at the end of the day, your net loss position is less than 1/3 of what your impairment impact is, and that's all accounting. It's not cash flow when you cop an impairment because you've already spent the money. You're just writing down the value of an asset. It is what it is, but they've done all right to get out of it in that aspect. But if you're going to, again, these things never happen in good years because if you're doing really well, your assets are generating cash, there's no impairment. When things aren't going well and you have to hit these impairments because they're not meeting their expectations, it only just compounds the pain. But it comes back to an interesting point that I've been asking for a number of quarters now. At what point is Microsoft going to cop an impairment or Activision Blizzard King not performing? Because everyone else is writing them down in the current economic environment. So Sony's taken a huge impairment this year. Sega's taking one. Embracer Group's taken a couple. Take-Two's had to wear a couple of them. At some point, Microsoft's going to have to bite down on that one. Anyway, so we'll wait and see.
I want to hit on something you said, because when something is an impairment, they're not. Yes. They're reporting on money spent and money technically lost. Is that the way I'm? Like, they're not reporting on like new money. This is money that's already been spent, that's gone, and they're not going to recoup it. So like, if I spend $1 million on a project and I only make $500,000 on it, in my next financial report, I'm going to have to write that down as a $500,000 impairment. Is that correct?
Yeah, not really.
Okay. Hey, listen, I am trying. That's why I asked the question. Because we talk about impairments, and I don't know if everybody here in the chat or if everybody who's going to watch this later actually knows what the hell that is. And obviously, I took my best stab at it, so help me.
You got in there. You managed to walk into the stadium. I'll put it that way.
There we go.
So when you buy a company, right? And depending on how you value it, when it gets brought onto your books and you've acquired it, this is the value of the assets. This is the value above between what the assets were worth and what the money amount you paid for it was, which is goodwill. And the goodwill is the piece that we're talking about with these impairments. And it's based on the ability for the assets that you've purchased, either separate or together, to generate cash flow in the future. And there's an expectation in a heap of accounting calculations that go into this to work it out. So every year you do a calculation or a check or an assessment to say, are my assets creating the cash flow or the returns that I was expecting to get from them? Now, if you've got a recoverable amount that's higher than the fair value of your assets, you don't have to do an impairment. This is really like basic explanation. There's some technical points that go in there, but just for everyone to understand this. If your recoverable value, so what you can get for the asset or what the asset can generate in terms of cash flow, is more than its value, then your goodwill is fine. If, for whatever reason, be it market conditions, damage to the brand, obsolescence, changes in technology, whatever, you are unable to recover more than that asset's value is, then you have to impair it. And you have to, basically, you're writing it down. It'll sit in your balance sheet as an intangible or a tangible asset or a goodwill or whatever it is. You have to reduce the amount that's sitting in your assets in your balance sheet, and you write that off as an expense in your profit and loss. And that will happen, and you will write down, but you'll never recharge it. You can't go back the other way when things come good. So, if in your example, if you're saying I buy, to I suppose change it, I buy a business for $10,000. Oh no, let's go. I buy a business for $10 million. Its net assets, property, plant, equipment, tangible assets, and all the rest of it is only worth $5 million, and I've paid $5 million in goodwill that I should expect to get over the next, 7 or 8 years of cash generating because I've used the discount cash flow method to do the valuation. Mm-hmm. This is what it's worth. If after 18 months or 2 years, I've got a written down value of $4 million worth of assets because I've been depreciating them and they've worn down a bit, and it's just not generating the income that it should be, it's down 20-25%, I've now got less cash flow coming in than was expected. I now have to do an impairment on that goodwill.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've got to write that down. And now I have to record it in that method. And that's why it's still scratching the back of my head with some of these big purchases that are just not performing, where I'm going, at some point they're going to have to do an impairment, and Microsoft's the big one. They got $50 billion worth of goodwill coming out of that ABK, or nearly $60 billion worth of goodwill coming out of that ABK purchase. And they are now collectively performing worse than they would have been doing adjusted for eliminations 2 years ago. And they're going backwards.
So
at some point,
how are they still hiding it then? Or not hiding it, but how are they still avoiding taking that impairment?
But that's the piece that's the bit of the head scratches. Somewhere in that area, and this is why I think when they got it bundled in with personal computing, they're looking at it as a total rather than an individual point, whereas Sony and these others are specifically looking at these acquired businesses or acquired assets. Microsoft must be looking at it in a different perspective, going, the potential for it to generate cash flow is still there. and thus we're not having to do an impairment on it. But it's got to be getting awfully close. But if they take even a 10% write down on that, that's a $5 billion expense they have to write into their P&L. If it's a 10%, becomes $5 billion. If it's a 20%, it's $10 billion. That's enough to get a CEO thrown out the door. So there's a fair bit of you can see from the shift round, and that was one of the things I suspected was what got Phil shown the door in such a hurry. That they were looking at getting close to this, and they need to turn around in a hurry. Now the new head of Xbox has brought in a whole heap of AI leaders, and they're going to turn the ship around. It's like, well, okay, cool, have fun with that, but that's probably the only way they're going to be able to save it is to change it into something else. Because if they shut it down, if they sell it, they'll take a massive write down on that, because I don't think they'll ever get $80 billion for it. It's not worth that to most, and there's no money floating around there at the moment to buy it. If they shut it, the only other thing they could do is shut it down and then license everything out, and then they might be able to get around it. But like, you'd be laying off 20,000 people, and outsourcing the whole thing, and there's no guarantee that that's going to work. So, but they're all having to do it because the market's changed. There's a downshift. It's going through a downhill cycle, and it'll go through a valley. And it's just a part of the, we're on the downhill run for the console generations, and we've got all these other market factors and hardware factors and that feeding in against it. What can you do? They have to do it. It's part of the accounting requirements. They've all got to eat it. Those that have an impairment and end up in a small loss position compared to that impairment are actually the winners. Those that are having to do impairments on top of a net loss position to make things a lot worse are the ones that are suffering the worst. There's a few of them. They're absolutely taken it big time.
So at the end of the day, Sega seems to be in an okay position, even though they had to take that lump on the chin.
Yeah, and relative to Capcom and Konami and Arakawa and all the rest of them, just looking at their gaming divisions, they're all in there or thereabouts. The same with Sony and PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
They're all got their strengths and weaknesses, but they're all having to take a few, trim a bit here and take a few hits there, and sort of get ready for the hammering they're going to get next financial year, because the next 12 to 18 months is going to be anything but smooth sailing for most industries. But they need to be in a good position to weather the storm, and that feels like, from what I can see, it feels like they're setting themselves up to be able to take those hits over the next 12 to 18 months. Some of the more on the European-based and US-based gaming companies aren't setting themselves up to be able to weather that. It'll be a question of if they survive in those instances. And I would not be surprised if you think it's bad now, it's going to get worse. No, especially in the US.
Rachie just brought up a good point. PlayStation assets. Why? Because you made mention about Xbox assets and things like that. But so PlayStation already cut out their assets. We've already talked about those on the show. He actually talked about it earlier as well, where when we mentioned Fair Games and how that studio's probably not going to be around after Fair Games. Fair Games might not come out. The decisions that
playtest. It's got a play. Fair Games has got an internal playtest review due in June.
I think that's going to be a train wreck. But that's just me personally.
I'm not convinced that game's going to make market.
I don't think it is. I don't think the game's making market, and I don't think the studio is making it. To be quite honest with you.
It's done. I think it's done. It'll have to climb over a fair few hurdles to get there.
Nishino and Holmes have said no.
Well, they've given it every. So this is the thing. Again, we get back to that. Half the time they're getting kicked for doing one thing, and then they get kicked for doing the exact opposite to what everyone wants. So they had a crack at a game, and they've given it every chance to do well, including changing out management of the studio. Now, if they don't get up to snuff in the point where they need to go and they can it, then they gave it every chance. But they've done that in other instances where they've canned games after giving them several chances. Like Blue Point's a great example. They gave them over 12 months to come up with something, and they couldn't come up with anything. So, at what point do you say they need to be more vicious in this, or do they just support them as best they can and make it a last resort? Because once Fair Games is gone, the next one on the chopping block is Bend.
What were we going to say, Stephen?
Actually, with Blue Point, they were trying to get a Bloodborne remake kind of thing, a revamp of Bloodborne, but Sony said yes.
Miyazaki apparently said no.
Miyazaki said no, so they were trying.
No.
It's not like they weren't trying.
But at that point, you gotta.
At that point, that was the last. I think that was the last ditch effort.
But like, you gotta bounce. Like, then that's the thing. So somebody had said Blue Point made bangers of remakes. I think Hero was the one that said that, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, cool. But when your job is to remake stuff, I don't know why they just didn't have, like, pick an IP and let them work on it. If hear me when I say this, and do not misunderstand me when I say this. I do believe that developers who do remakes do have passion for gaming, game design, game development, storytelling, all of that stuff. But when you're doing a remake, I'd say like 80% of the job, maybe 70%, is done for you. When you already have the story, you already have the baseline art direction of how stuff is supposed to look, especially if you're doing something that already was in full 3D. You know, or even not. Like, good Lord, look at this Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake. Those games have a baseline of what Big Cloud, Big Tifa, not little pixelated Tifa, like normal size Aerith, they know what they're supposed to look like because they've drawn them before. So, like, some of the work is already done when it comes to character design, character models, landscapes, things like that. So, at that point, I do blame PlayStation at least a little bit for Blue Point.
For what?
Give them a game. Say, hey, we want you to remake this.
They gave them 3, and the studio turned all 3 of them down.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought that was the other way around. That the studio gave PlayStation 3 and PlayStation nixed each one.
So the studio came up with 3 that they wanted to do, plus their own IP. This is talking about Blue Point. So they had 2 or 3 that they wanted to do, plus their own IP. And they got started on one of them, and then it got taken away from them because they couldn't handle it. And then the other 2 got knocked on the head by Sony because... Oh, one got knocked on the head by Sony, and then the other one was the Miyazaki issue with Blue Point remake. Bloodborne remake, sorry. So then they started working on their own IP, and that went to a fizzling wreck of nowhere because they wanted to do too much and couldn't do it. And then they flicked around the other way, and Sony said, well, can you do this one, or this one, or this one? And the studio said, no, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. And they dug their heels in. Sony said, fine, you've got come up with these key critical points and development, and they couldn't meet it. Gave them extra time. They basically had a team, a studio sitting there doing 4/5 of not much for 12 months and couldn't come up with anything. So I think that's pretty poor to then turn around, like, from multiple sides of management, and everyone at the time turned around and said, oh, Herman Hulst is useless. How dare he shut down a studio? I'm like, scratch the surface and have a look at it. Senior studio level management is as much at fault, if not more, by not taking up the opportunities and pissing money up the wall in not trying to get something across the line and take care of their own staff. So
I agree.
And the same's going to happen at Bend, and the same's going to happen at Fair Games, and I take no objection to senior management at Sony level saying, perform or perish. Come up with something that meets the standards, otherwise we'll take the action and we'll shut the studio down and we'll redistribute the people we want to keep, and everyone else will get a package and go and find something else to do. And it's not just Sony doing that. They're all doing that. Microsoft's got a voluntary redundancy program going at the moment, a voluntary retirement they're calling it, but it's redundancy. If your current age plus years served at Microsoft equals 70 or more, you get access to this package. They're trying to clean out as many people as they can before they have to do the next round of layoffs, which will be...
That's funny. So if you've been there... wait a second. So if you're 55 and you've been there for 10 years... you can, or for 15 years, you can get full, or whatever the package is.
Yep, 30. I think it's 32. It's either 32 or 39 weeks plus 12 months worth of medical insurance, and something else.
Hey, can I just say, with as shitty as I think Microsoft is, that's not bad. Like, because you can still go somewhere else and work, and you still get to keep your medical insurance, and I'm sure there's a severance in there of quite a bit. Like, that is when you look at the company, and the company goes, hey, listen, we're about to fire a shit ton of people. You can take this deal, or you can be let go. Either way, and at that point, you take the deal. Like, I'm not saying it's a great scenario, but I will give them props, because if you're going to be let go, that's the best way to be let go, is with severance and with your insurance intact.
So this is what the program details as of last week. Eligibility must be at the senior director level or below, specific level 67 and below in the US, with a combination of age and years servicing totaling at least 70. Individuals on sales incentive plans are excluded. Financial payout, a lump sum cash payment ranging from 8 to 39 weeks of base pay calculated based on tenure and seniority. Level 64s and below, 1 week of base pay per 6 months of service, and if you're level 65 to 67, which is your senior director level, 2 weeks of base pay per 6 months of service. Benefits continuation, up to 5 years of subsidized insurance coverage, including medical, dental, and vision for employees and dependents, with the first year fully paid by Microsoft. Stock vesting continues regular stock vesting for 6 to 12 months, depending on years of service. Detailed information was provided to eligible employees on May 7th, 2026, and the expectation is that it closes in the middle of June. There's a 4-week or 6-week subscription period for it. After they've done this, and the reason you do this rather than layoffs is this will allow them to offload just a number of people and then reorganize within who they've got left. If you're doing layoffs, which include redundancies, you've got to make the position redundant, not the person. And if you're making positions redundant, you then can't then just re-employ into that position with a lower paid person. So, but they will do it. They're chasing like, what is it, 7 to 10% of their reduction again by the end of June of their current staffing levels. So there's another couple of thousand people about to go out the door at Microsoft.
Yeah, I got that package. Yeah, I got that package when I left Granger. 2 weeks for every, 2 weeks for every year I worked there. I worked there 16 years. So I had a pretty good lump sum coming off, plus the profit sharing that I had that I built up, because it went through Vanguard. So I was able to move it around when it was low, make it low. So I gave me a lot of control. Granger was a great place, but they went full corporate era at one point. I should have kept the 100 stock that they gave me. They gave me 100 stock every like 5 years. I was there for, and dude, that sucker's worth, man, it's at 1,300 or something like that right now. Stock value at this point in time.
Yeah. Pretty decent.
It's crazy. No, it's really funny. They don't even mention that. They don't even mention Granger at all. If you're one of the top companies, although their stock prices are great, because it's all military contracts. That's all it really is.
Oh, if you've got military contracts, you're printing money at the moment. But
pretty much.
Sorry, I was just checking the numbers. If they do a 10%.
Oh, yep,
Yeah,
that's right.
If they do 8 to 10% reduction at Microsoft just in the US alone, you're talking about somewhere between 7 and 11,000 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on top of. So.
But if you look at what they're doing, they're trying to invest more into AI. AI is going to be what's taking over. Unfortunately, it could take a lot of their jobs if you think about it.
Again, feedback into the gaming area. It's not just Microsoft is doing it. There's a heap of other ones doing it as well. But AI allows indies and small developers to be able to get stuff done faster and done at a better level. And if they're putting, the PSSR2 and DLSS and all whatever else it is that AMD calls theirs, FSR4 and that, if that is a way of achieving outputs at a high quality level without having to invest stupid amounts of time and money into getting things to that point, then it's to the benefit of the consumer. Then the loss point is going to be the labor going into it, because that's what they're trying to save.
And creativity.
So someone's still got to look. If you ask AI to do all the work, you're going to get slop, as we've referred earlier.
L-
If you use AI as a tool to assist, you need
Like so
people
recently.
that are trained well to be able to use the tools.
Yep.
You need good tradespeople to do it. And that's where a lot of the upskilling is happening in certain areas, particularly around publishers and supporting in AA and indie areas for people to be able to do that. Now, there may be that the quality will take a little bit of time to get there, but you'll be able to tell. Those of us who play games frequently will be able to tell if the game has had AI used as a tool or if it's been built primarily using AI as the builder, because there will be vast differences. The creativity of stories and the creativity of artwork and games and that sort of stuff, you'll be able to pick the difference between the two. I still feel like there's a larger broadening of accessibility for smaller creators now, because the cost of entry is so much cheaper, and they can do a lot more with a lot less. Setting up from scratch is impossible for some, and getting a job in some of these areas is nigh on impossible for others. So it's like when Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5 and those things came about with Nanite and Lumen and all the rest of it. It made game development more accessible to more people. Byproduct of that is you get a saturated market, and then you can't sell it for $50. You got to sell it for $20, and then you might not get your million sales. You might only get 100,000 sales, and then you're competing on Steam against 15,000 other games and all the rest of it. Barrier to entry, quality control issues, and all the rest of that. That's all going to have a massive come to a massive head in the next sort of 12 to 18 months when all the money's gone out of it. And these big companies are going to struggle. It loops back to what we were talking about before. They're pumping huge amounts of money into offloading staff and onboarding AI and trying to cut their costs and all the rest of it. All they're going to do is just be shifting it from one area to another. It's not actually going to save them anything. And us as a consumer are still going to cop it. We'll still get plenty of games, but we might get too many to choose from.
So Raichi said something that I just want to push back on a little bit. He said, I've noticed here, hey, William, I talked about you earlier. What's up, man? He said, I've noticed here that damn Xbox, you are firing people, and also Sony is justified in closing Bluepoint. Okay. So, yes, 7,000 to 10,000 people, for one, is different than a studio or two getting closed. Two, we're talking about Microsoft overall closures, or firings, or layoffs rather, sorry. Not necessarily Xbox as a whole. Also, I praised Microsoft for handling this the way they're handling it. I think that's the best way. If you're gonna get fired, or if you're gonna be on the chopping block for layoff, they're basically giving you a warning shot tied with a big boatload of money for you that says, here you go. Thank you for your time. We are moving on, but we're going to give you this to make you happy and shut you up and to get some good publicity, which is what's happening right now. I think that's the best way you can handle those things. The problem with the layoffs last year is they didn't do that. They just came out and said, hey, 12,000 people gone, or 10,000 or whatever the hell it was during the Bloody Valentine's Day massacre. Like, that happened. This, I think they're handling it correctly, and I think they're doing well. Also, closing down Bluepoint, we've already kind of discussed that. What were the things leading up to that? What are the things leading up to Microsoft 86ing this many people? Well, it's the big push into AI. AI is not taking off as fast, therefore they're losing a shit ton of money. Everybody's losing a shit ton of money on AI right now. And so, because of that, you're having to find money somewhere, and the easiest place to find it is payroll. Like, that's been proven several times on this channel by the guest who's in the top spot up here in Faulkner. This is not something that is unheard of. This is not something that's weird. Companies do it all the time. When one company buys another that has similar things going on, the first thing that happens is redundancy layoffs, because you don't need two secretaries at one company. One secretary could do it. Or you don't need 5 secretaries when one company had 3, the other company had 2. Guess what? One of them's probably getting gone, probably 2 of them. and they're
Yep.
probably going to keep the best ones from each.
Yep.
And
That's what happened to my wife. She
As-
worked for a startup company, got bought up by Boston Scientific. Boston Scientific kept her on for a little bit to train him, let her go, but they gave her a good severance packets and some good things
Yeah.
out of that. She did good, but it's kind of, I can understand that all that's what he was talking about. Got to get rid of the redundancies. Too many things that kind of cross each other need to be relieved. And a lot of times the new companies still know the old company knows their people, so they can use them to and get them onboarded faster because of course they're there. They're already there. They already know the company.
It's just they did this so listen, I don't praise Microsoft often, but I think they're doing this correctly. That's coming from a guy, like I said, I hate Microsoft. I literally pulled up OneDrive tonight on accident because my computer pulled it up automatically and I was pissed. I hate anything to do with Microsoft. They've tried to put Copilot on here. I keep taking it off. They've tried to not a huge fan.
I don't even touch it. You're right. I don't even touch any of the AI stuff that they have.
No.
Or even Google's AI. I don't even touch that.
The problem is when I'm doing a recording for what the hell is it called? When I'm doing a recording based off of or on the capture card, the easiest way and the fastest way for me to mess with it is to just load it up into Microsoft Clipchamp and dump that in there real quick and then save it and get it up here. The problem with that is Clipchamp defaults you to OneDrive. And so if I save it to OneDrive, and every time I try to access OneDrive, I can't because I don't know how. Every time I do, it asks for a login and a PIN number, and I'm like, I don't know. I set up the Microsoft PIN number the day I made the damn account. I have no idea what this thing is. And so I can't, and I don't want to fuss with trying to go into the account and solving it, and not solving it, but getting them to reset my password and reset another one. And if anybody's had to do anything for Microsoft, it's a pain in the ass, and there's about 5 different screens you have to go through just to get everything set up. But
Isn't it?
it is fun. I gotta take my dog
Look,
outside, and so
you're right.
Go ahead.
y'all two talk for a minute.
No, you're right. I was just going to add to that.
Come
I
on.
don't know. Just catching up with these comments.
Your feet.
It's not. Look, there's a difference between an organisation being justified in doing something and whether it's a right or wrong thing to do.
Yeah,
Well, sure.
That's true. That's true.
And Rachel's then comparing, Sony lost 50,000 employees since 2010 and Microsoft gained 120 since 2010. Well, why not go all the way back to 2000 and say in the year 2000, Sony was the biggest company, number one company by market cap in the world, and Microsoft was nowhere. You've got to be thinking about time, place, position, where things are trending, and all the rest of that. Microsoft is heavily investing in AI and trying to be a market leader there. Sony's not interested in being a market leader of anything. That's not how that business operates. Sony does not create. Sony perfects. That's what they do. They weren't the first to do anything, but they will try and perfect it to within an inch of its life. And if they can't find a way of doing it better, then they usually get out of it. But they're vastly different businesses. But if they're just looking at the gaming sections, there's a whole heap of studios that Microsoft has done the same thing to as what Sony's done. And yes, they have been justified in doing it, but it doesn't make it any nicer or better. And it certainly doesn't provide any content for the end users.
Mm.
But are we going to sit around and pretend that everything's sunshine and rainbows and happy? Well, it's not. And it's not for all of them. The market is so saturated. Gaming as a segment of overall entertainment is bigger than TVs, movies, and music combined.
Yep.
That's how
true.
big it is. And yet, it still doesn't get anywhere near the recognition as to what movies does or what music does and all the rest of it. If you want to see pain and suffering, go and have a look at the music industry.
Oh, that's terrible.
Artists are getting nothing for streaming. They're having to tour all the time to be able to make money. because they don't make anything for recording anything. And they're, these big artists are selling their libraries back to the publishers and the marketers and that, because that's the only way they're going to make any money. And they're only going to get paid out one time. Like, it's streaming has destroyed the ability for people to record stuff and make money in that way. But it's not, and it's the artists that are the ones getting screwed. It's not the publishing companies, the big music publishers, because they figured it out pretty quickly and sorted out how they can keep and maintain it. But what's the flip side to that? If you go and spend $1,000 on recording equipment and Adobe or whatever it is you want to, and a couple of microphones or whatever, you can make your own music, publish your own music, own your own publishing, put it up on the streaming service, promote it through social media, and actually do okay. And then you can tour locally, and you can tour nationally, regionally, and then if you're lucky enough to get picked up by a promoter, then you can start globally touring. And it's starting to show. There are a number of artists that are considered in the top 100 globally that's how they got there.
Post Malone is a good example.
Yep, they didn't go through some big publishing area to be able to do it.
Yep.
But
because they steal your money. They steal your money.
So,
because you're signing your life away. When you do that, it's a contract. It's not.
Yes.
They're giving you money for your property that you have. That's why Taylor Swift fought so hard and spent so much money to get her stuff back, because it was taken from her. If she didn't own it, she made it for them. They owned it. That's
right. Now, I've got a bit of a dynamic perspective of things that have a personal connection to individuals. If you are, and this is probably going to upset a few people, but remember when the writers all went on strike because they wanted a better deal? The SAG-AFTRA writers all went on strike because they wanted to be remunerated better for their inputs on whatever it was, and all the stuff that goes on with music. And Taylor Swift's a great example of all that. If you haven't got the money or the desire or the time or the capacity to start at the ground and work your way up and do it on your own dime and take the risk yourself, both financially and everything else, and you get somebody else to fund that for you, the only way that's going to pay back to you is either you get paid for your input or you get paid for your output. And if the risk is you have all this effort put in, and the only way you're going to get any payment out of it is if the output succeeds, that's an awfully big risk to be taking. But if you say, well, pay me by the hour or pay me by the week or give me a salary and I'll do all this stuff for you, and you as the organization are going to wear all the financial risk on this, you're going to put up the millions of dollars to do all this production work, and if the thing flops, that's on you, and I can walk away with the paychecks that you've given me, which one would you take if you're an unknown quantity? Then get to the other end of it and complain that I didn't get what was owed to me because I put all this effort in and somebody else took all the risk. And I was lucky enough to have become super successful. Now I want my share of the risk that they took on it. It gets a little bit hypocritical at that point. Because individuals are happy to seek the rewards when they didn't put any skin in the game up front. That's when I take an issue with how things are done in that aspect. But if people are prepared to say, well, I'll put the effort in and I'll share some of the risk so I can share the rewards at the output, then that's a totally different story. The whole industry, particularly music and movies, is geared to be, well, I'll pay you for your inputs, we're going to take the risk and we get to keep the outputs. And some publishers in gaming are like that too. You will only get money back from us because we'll pay you we'll do the publishing arrangement, but we get the rights to the IP and we get the rights to this much, 100% of the profits on whatever it is past point up to a certain point. And then if it does all right, we'll then kick back the additional to you on a percentage basis, but we're going to pay you up now for us to then potentially take the risk on this. And then the game does gangbusters when it was originally only going to do like 10,000 units and it does 200,000 units. And the studio's already gotten their cash, sign the deal, and then go, oh, this thing's done great, we want more out of it, when they haven't put in anything in the publishing or the marketing or anything else. And that's what pisses me off about that part of the industry. it's so tilted from one way to the other. You got to pick your publisher. Sony's done it several times where they've signed deals and made a game massive when it otherwise wouldn't have been. And then the small studio that they've gotten that's done the deal bitches and moans that they got nothing out of it. It's like, well, it was a risk. And you guys didn't want to do it. Bungie's an example, like the ultimate extreme example of it. They're going broke. They're not making any money. They don't know how to control their costs. They sell an absolute dog to Sony. Sony says, yeah, we'll do it. But if you fuck up, we're gonna carve it up and do what we want with it. Bungie fucked it up and Sony carved it up and everyone goes, oh, that's Sony. Like,
they signed a contract.
They warned you.
That's what they've said.
Fucking
they
warned
let you know.
And you guys all agreed to it. And you got all the employees got all their money up front.
Business.
They got all their money up front without having any risk in it at all. And the same thing happened. I can see Raichi's putting stuff in there about Tango Gameworks and Shinji and a heap of others. They all got paid up front. And all of a sudden, thing goes well. They didn't get the rewards at the back end of it, but they didn't stump up the cash and all the effort and all the other stuff to go into it. And that's, again, I'd really take it a perspective that a whole picture isn't shown or spoken about in enough detail or enough understanding. So these small studios that indie startup with 5 people in it, or let's use Expedition 33 as an example. Small studio, got a heap of contractors in when they needed it, targeted it, did an absolute banger of a game. They signed an agreement to put it on Game Pass, and they sold it here and they sold it there, and the thing went bang, and they won all these awards. They fronted up the risk and the cash and everything up front themselves.
Yep,
and they had people personally invested in that, and they pushed the point, and they kept it small for that reason. So they're completely entitled to all the rewards to distribute it however they see fit. Then you get other people who have done deals with major publishing studios and get paid big dollars up front and piss around for 5, 6, 7 years to spit out an average game and then bitch and moan about we didn't get to do what we wanted and we didn't get the kickback and we didn't get the profits on this and we didn't do that. We had to sign all this stuff away. But you made millions of dollars while you were fucking around building it. And yet the thing that if the thing was an absolute dog's breakfast and sold nothing, are you going to give the money back? Of course they're not going to give the money back. It's like they want the base level and they want the upside, but they won't put in the risk, put any skin in the game on the downside risk.
True.
And the music industry is the worst one for it, but it's starting to become prevalent in gaming as well. And publishing houses are horrible for it.
That's why Prince owned most of his, and if not all his stuff. If you notice, if Prince ordered, because he understood what the game they played. They kind of feed off of the young men that or women that want to hit it big. We're gonna promise you something, and you give up, but you give up everything, but you still make money.
Oh well, you make. Sure,
but you don't get to keep your intellectual property. That's ours now.
That's why it really, music industry is crazy. That's a whole nother thing I could talk about.
That is freaking nuts. That is one of the worst.
That is why the way things are now with music is why you've got games that have license that are digital having to be delisted because the licensing agreements have run out.
Yep.
And the other bits and pieces are, no, we're not doing it.
Yep, that's right.
The music licenses said we won't renew it, or here's a stupid cost to renew it, and you have to renew it. Way back in the day with the physical, it's a one-time fee. And yeah, the fees were higher, but it was a one-time fee. But again, that is the reason why a lot of these big RPGs and a lot of the big gaming publishers have in-house composers and music, and they write all their own stuff to get around that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of using, your marketed popular music or whatever you want to call it, that's available anywhere else.
So that's one of the things that I mentioned earlier with when you get a part of a corporation. It's so, like, take me for example. I work for one of the largest HVAC companies in Arkansas. Do they pay the most per technician? No, they don't. But they have a ton of back end help, a ton of overhead. And we have quite a few employees. And so I understand that if I go somewhere else to make a few dollars more per hour, I'm now sourcing my own parts. I'm now checking on my own deliveries. I'm now I have to stop by the supply houses now instead of having everything just hand brought to me. Like there's things that you get when being a part of an entity, but there's also things that happen. Also, our company's not the cheapest, and we don't tell anybody we ever are because we have overhead. We have and like they don't just pay us peanuts because they can't. They have to still be competitive enough to keep us there, but also they can take a little bit away per hour because of all the added benefits and the headaches that we're not having to deal with.
Yep.
So when you're an independent studio, everything is on you to get that shit done. Maybe you have a publisher that's going to help you out a little bit, like Kepler did with Expedition 33, set up some of the voice work, some of the studio work, all that stuff, get you some connections, maybe get you some actors. Cool. But like for the most part, you're taking the brunt of the risk. If you're owned by PlayStation, you're taking a risk. You might lose your job, but it's not, you haven't put up, let me say this better. You haven't put up your own personal money, at least from the way I understand it. Like Sony, when they bankroll something, they are the ones that bankroll the thing. Same with any publisher. And so it's why it was so big that Mouse PI for Hire, see, I told y'all we would get to it, that Mouse PI for Hire sold 700,000 within the first couple of weeks, and their publisher was ecstatic so much that they went out to Facebook or to Twitter and was like, guys, we've made our money back, point blank done. Within the first 2 weeks, we have been paid back 100%, which is awesome because that means anything else just goes back to the studio. That's great. That's wonderful. Now, does that happen all the time? Hell no. We talked about it earlier. Henry even said that great games come out all the time that end up not doing well. Small games, big games, large games, JRPGs, RPGs, open world games, action games, they come out all the time. And some hit, some don't. Some are really good that we find out 5 years later if the studio got shut down and they're never going to make another game again, that holy shit, I wish I would have played this game when it came out, but it came out next to game X, so I didn't touch it. Dang, that sucks. I would have loved to see what they could have done with something like this. I've had those conversations. We all have. And so when you start, let's thread this all back together. When you start talking about the differences, which is where all this came from Rachel's comment, when you start talking about the differences between a Microsoft layoff and a PlayStation or a Sony shutting down a studio, it's very different in the way that they are traditionally handled for one, and then delivered for two. But in this one, I think Microsoft did it right. And so I'm not really dogging them for this. Like, redundancies happen, market fluctuations happen, businesses make decisions that are terrible sometimes that end up making people lose their jobs. That happens. That is a normal, as much as people don't want it to be, that is a normal part of business. You take risk. Sometimes the risk blow up in your face. And if your upper management took risk, and if the people in the boardrooms took risks that didn't pan out, guess what? That means they don't have or don't want to take the money from somewhere else or cancel some other project program or whatnot to pay you continually. And they would just be like, hey, I'm going to get rid of you now. Or, hey, this thing that we tried to do didn't work out. We don't need you anymore. Sorry. Like, that happens. And when that does happen, I think you get what they're doing right now, where they're looking at employees who've been there for a while going, hey, guys, listen, we got to find some money somewhere. Easiest place to do it is payroll. We got to get rid of you. Sorry. Here's what we can do, though. If you take this buyout, you're getting set up for the next 18 months almost. Oh, insurance, dental, don't even worry about it. We're going to pay it for the first 12 months. Like, if guys, I'll be dead honest. If my boss came to me tomorrow and said, hey, listen, man, we got to let you go. It's going to happen in a few months. It's coming down the pipeline. Got to let you know about it. But if you want, we can give you a severance package where we'll pay your insurance for a year. we will go ahead and get you lined out with dental for the first year. We'll pay it, and then we'll supplement it for 6 months after that. We'll do all these things. I might look at him and go, you know what? I could use a vacation. Like, it's just all you did was gave me free license to move me and my family to whatever state I wanted to, start over, and build a business if I like. These people aren't inept. Like, it's not like they got a job at Microsoft and have been there for that long to get the severance package because they suck at their job. Like, so I'm praising Microsoft here. It's one of the few times, so people should clip this, because I think they did a great thing in this. I think it's awesome. And I'd love to see other companies continually do that when they have to do this. It wouldn't hurt so bad when Crystal Dynamics got their cuts and their layoffs, or when Embracer Group buys these studios and then shuts them down and just kicks everybody out. If they look at them and go, yeah, but we've taken care of them for the next 12 to 18 months. Like, they're not desolate and destitute underneath a bridge somewhere. They'll be okay. We've helped. Like, that type of stuff goes a hell of a long way. And thankfully, Microsoft, a company that has enough money to do that, is doing that. And so, yeah, I don't know. What game is on the screen? This is Astral Blade. It is a really fun game that came out. It was a Steam game that ended up coming to the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch last year. Really fun. Played it a little bit. It's a side-scroller, Metroidvania. Good time with it. It's a fun game.
Yeah. Shuhei loved it.
That's why I bought it.
Loved it. Yeah. I gotta go. Sorry, that's what I wanted to say.
No, you're fine. It's 11:02. We gotta go too.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna duck now. Thank you very much. Great to chat with you again.
It's 9 over here, so I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. No, I gotta. It's 2:00 on a Thursday afternoon, and I gotta go and do a couple of things. So.
Yes, sir.
Have some fun, man. Have to go out, have fun.
Thank you.
And enjoy, man. It's good talking with you. I love hearing hearing all your financial stuff. I can understand most of it. I'm like,
well, I'm glad.
Yeah, I just can't explain it.
I was going to say, you'll have to explain it back to me one day.
Yeah. I can put it in try to put it in layman's terms.
You'll have to help Faulkner understand it. Hey, man.
Dumb it down.
Where can folks find you, man?
You can find me about to duck out to my kitchen and replenish my coffee cup. You can find me on Twitter at Forky87, or you can find me poking around on a few different podcasts.
Do you?
Yeah. Any questions, queries, comments, hit me up. Always happy for a chat. Tag me in the Discord if you want to chat about stuff. Poke around in there occasionally. But yeah, otherwise, have a lovely evening and keep safe.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you coming on, dude. Hey, guys.
It's good to be on with you. Good to be on with you.
Thanks.
Never was.
It's a treat that we got him here for the full 2 hours, man. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, yeah.
No, tell the truth. You're happy that I'm going, because otherwise we'd be here for 4 hours.
About to say, I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna get off of here in the next 10 minutes. This is gonna be great.
I love to learn things. I don't care. You can talk all day for me. Fine.
Don't give me that. Don't threaten me with a good time.
No, it's me too. That's why our shows usually take 3.5 hours.
It's good.
All right.
All right, man. Have a good night, dude.
Bye.
Okay, so let's end this on something kind of good, because the subservice is what it is. I went back down to $9.99 again because I'm one step away from canceling it during the summer because I have no multiplayer games coming out. But Josh and I need to beat Space Marine 2 and Gears of War E-Day.
You're gonna look. Space Marine's fun, dude. The ending is crazy.
We've played it. We've played a couple chapters of it. But so I'm gonna keep it. But I will say this: last month was kind of a rough month. The month before that was pretty decent. The month before that, I think we got Cyberpunk, and Space Marine 2 was a title this year. So they've been bringing stuff out. About once every other month, we get a pretty good list. And
Yep.
I think this list, it has all the things you want. It has a game that you might not have played because you didn't want to and we didn't want to give the money to it at the time, which is Star Wars Outlaws. It has a game that probably everybody and their mother has played, but you may get some of those 30% that didn't own a PS4 to play Red Dead Redemption 2. And so they got that on there. It's one of those games you're like, man, everybody and their mother. It's like when they put GTA in there. You're like, come on, man. The game sold millions upon millions of copies. People have played it if they wanted to, but not always. But
People still play it though. I mean, it's one of those games that the people will play. There's so much to do with it. It's not even funny. There's so many things they're discovering still to this day. So it's not a game that it's a game that I'm going to play. I'll probably get it, pick up Outlaws because I wasn't gonna pay for it, but I will play it now. I mean, I like the Star Wars universe. I love the outlaw kind of thing. They made fun of her looks. I'm like, dude, she's an outlaw. She's not some freaking
no, dog,
supermodel.
no. They made fun of her
tired of
because she has no ass at all. She has a disease, man. She has a disease. They put pants on a frog with long hair.
A lot of them had no ass. If you look at them, they had no ass back then. Come on. It's Star Wars. Was she supposed to be super fit? Big booty, big booty lifting weights,
No, but she's supposed to look feminine at least. Like, can we get there?
She does look, dude.
She looks like a mouse with long hair and a frog with pants.
She got some little gams. She could be trans, but yeah, she got
Anyways,
some little bit of.
I'm more messing around. This is joking. This is mostly joking. She does look fucked up in the face though. Like they did terrible with her character animations.
But the thing is, was Leia really super beautiful either? Come on, man, with Moth Gillian.
I mean, it depends. Are we talking about Leia with Jabba the Hutt, or are we talking where are we talking Leia?
Even with Leia with Jabba the Hutt, when she was actually captured, she didn't look that great. Come on, man, this is Star Wars. This is not a freaking Stellar Blade.
No, listen. All of this is true, and I was gonna say it is a title that I would not.
These people freaking saying those things.
That I would not spend money on.
What are you doing?
But no, and that's what I'm saying. It's not.
But
even
I would spend
gooning.
money on it. You're right.
But I wouldn't spend money on it. it's
I'm
not.
with you.
It's not gooning. It's the fact that she looks weird. Like it. Her whole. It's the nose. It's the mouth. It's the cheeks. It's everything. And the actress who plays her is beautiful. So I don't know what they did wrong there. She's not bad. Let's say that.
She's not super ugly.
She looks
either.
better than she does in the game.
She here's the thing. She's a rough and tumbled freaking person woman that's hardened. They don't look gorgeous. If you ever seen a homeless woman, they're not pretty. They're not pretty. She's almost like that.
Who plays? What is her name?
I don't know.
Star Wars.
I try not to. Oh my god! But
character. Hang on. Humphrey gets. Okay, now wait a minute. Hang on here. This is
Hero.
Hang on, guys. Okay. So
how's the immersion breaking?
Hang on. Watch this. Steven, are you in the podcast still? Are you still online?
I'm in the podcast. I'm in the podcast.
Okay, you got to see this. This is what I mean. I don't know what they did to her, but this is what I mean. F that it's from Smash JT. I just wanted the photo. He's an idiot.
Oh, they fugified her. Yes,
Smash JT is an idiot.
Flugified her.
Her eyes are looking different directions, bro. They made her cockeyed.
Dude, actually, her eyes are freaking further apart. She looks like freaking.
What did they do to her chin? Like, look at this. That's not her chin.
She went mega chin.
That's not her nose. Chin. Those aren't her cheeks. Like, those aren't her. Like, that's not her at all. But that's what I had a problem with. It was
behind the it wasn't it Baby Zinc or something like that actually helped.
Blah. I don't give a shit about that. But like, come on.
They want to de-beautify women.
Listen, I expect if you have a voice actress and you're doing mocap and you're using that actress for the character model, it should look like it. Or you should make it look not like it at all. Like, this was a failed attempt to make it look like it. It wasn't like Stellar Blade, where they used the model for the body and then digitized the face.
Their face, yeah.
Like, that's different. That is meant to be that way. And that was my big problem with the game, is like the character that I'm supposed to spend most of the time with looks jacked up. Like, it looks like, never mind. I was going to say something about the King of Pop, but that's rude and mean, and he's dead. We don't speak ill of the dead. But
please. He's dead. He's not going to feel
He's
it.
Dead. He's
not going to be all angry and come back and
That's true.
No.
I don't know, man. It's Michael. If a musician can come back from the dead, it's probably Michael Jackson. That's like
him or Prince.
Yeah, him or Prince. Like I think they get like one pass. Like I think this is.
Yeah, dude. You can come back. This guy talked too much crap. Go kick his butt in the hoops. Because Prince was a freaking baller.
Okay.
Fucking ball.
So
go ahead.
Here's the deal. I think that this month, we covered 2 of the games, got stuck on Outlaws. It is a game I'll probably boot up and play. It's going to be fine. I don't think I'm going to get too deep into it, but it'll scratch my Star Wars itch. The smile changes the shape of a cheek, so don't use that. Hey, listen, you're right. Hey, Josh, I am glad that you interacted with that at all. This is... Normally I get the live and let live Australian response from you. The oh, there it is. Yeah, the who cares response. That's normally what we see when we even broach those subjects or breach those subjects. The next thing I want to point out though is Flintlock. Flintlock is a game that it's an indie Souls game. There's going to be some people who didn't pick that up who are going to be very excited that that's in the subservice. And then there's a few other things. There's a few smaller titles. You got Bramble that's coming on. It's mainly a story title. You have Thaumaturge, which I've not played before. No, I have played that before. I bought the physical copy of Thaumaturge, and I took it back. So, take that for what you will. And then Entoria, the last song standard edition, is also coming as well, which is not on their artwork for it. It's not on their display for it. So yeah, so I mean it solves all the itches. It does. And then Time Crisis is the premium title. Great title to put in there. But dear God, can we get more in the premium per month than just one? I don't even subscribe to premium anymore. There's no freaking point. Like, there's just not. What, for me to spend 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes with a game from a long, long time ago? No. If you put 2 or 3 in there, then maybe I would come back to premium because then I could get it. But like Josh just said, you can buy the premium games if you want. So, like, if there's a game that's out that you just really desperately want to get, you can just pay usually $9 to $15 and grab it. But
why should I waste my money when I can get it for free?
But it's not. Never mind.
It's free-ish.
It's not free. Listen, here's
you
the
pay
other
for the
thing.
Service, but you get it for whatever you pay for the service.
If you're looking at these games on here and going, man, it's a great time to sign up for extra. I could get RDR2. I can get Star Wars Outlaws. This is great. Listen, tell you what you do. You go down to GameStop. You go inside. You pick up RDR2, and then you also pick up Star Wars Outlaws. You can probably get them on like a 2 for $20 sale if you're there on the right day. Then you spent $20 to now own the game, and you can trade it back in when you're done, as opposed to spending $12 or $15 or whatever the plus extra subscription is to get that. Ta-da! You spent $5 extra, and you'll probably make that back in on trade value anyways. So,
I spent more than that on gas.
That's true. just think about that when you don't even have to get it physically. Just wait for it to come out on a sale digitally. Like, that's one of the things that I'm starting to do when it tempts me to join back into extra. Is like, now wait a minute, can I just buy this game for what the subscription cost? Because if I can, then why have the subscription? Just buy the game, and then it's mine. But it does feel nice when you get 730 games to doom scroll through at the end of a night, so you don't play anything.
Sounds about right.
Doom scrolling.
Go right back to the game you were playing before.
You doom scroll for an hour, and you're like, F it. I'll just go back to playing what it was.
Yeah, pretty much. Path of Exiles. Yeah, here we come.
It's like we noticed our kids starting to doom scroll on like Netflix, and we're like, okay, guys, what subservice do you want us to bring back? Because we only usually have one video subservice at a time, and then Amazon Prime, but that's because it comes with Amazon Prime. Like, Prime Video comes with Amazon Prime. And
So
so
I tied my Max into my Prime, so I can go look at Prime and Max at the same time.
There you go.
On Prime.
well, they said,
So,
Disney has some things that have come out recently that we kind of want to see. And I thought to myself, I was like, there's a couple Marvel things like the Punisher stuff that just came out that I wouldn't mind maybe taking a look at. So we signed back. Oh, that good, huh? So we signed back up.
he's not
for-
the Punisher. I'm sorry.
That's sad. That's sad. Because he did great on the Netflix show.
Yeah, totally different.
Uh,
I think they pussified him
oh,
from what I see.
Oh, no. But so we signed back up and we ended up getting Hulu and Disney Plus because that's the only way you can get it now for like $11 a month. And so, but we got that signed back up because when you start to doom scroll, like you're just doing it to pass the time. That's ridiculous. Like, just stop. Pick something to watch. But then
I have movies from Vudu, which is the that are part of some of my old stuff that I converted over from my CDs, my DVDs, which I still have, Blu-rays and DVDs. I still have the originals, but I go there that I haven't touched, I haven't looked at. So basically, it's the same thing. And the hero said it's the Game Pass mentality. No, Sony has the same thing. What do you think the Plus is for? It's a form of Game Pass too.
no,
So,
but the
I mean,
Game
so
Pass
we all have it.
mentality would say
This is free. Yeah,
this
it's
is free.
It's
Right.
free.
That's what he's
it's free.
saying that about.
I understand. I'm just giving him a hard time.
Oh.
He's not on right now.
I understand what y'all are saying. But
Well, no, I give him a hard time because I like him.
I know.
Nelson too. I
hey,
love Nelson.
speaking
He's
of that, guys, Hero has a new channel out. Y'all need to go watch and listen
where?
to his 2 videos. He has them out, and the grief one that he just did is absolutely awesome.
Is it
So-
named Hero Down Under or no?
You're gonna get me to lying. I know I'm subscribed to it. Hang on, let me find it.
Yeah, support my friend, man. Sheesh,
Yeah, he is doing great stuff.
dude. Let's make him big. Make
I
him
mean,
bigger
I think
than
he's
big,
gonna
and
get
then
there
he'll
all on
forget
his
about
own, to
us.
be
and
quite
we're not
honest
gonna-
with
he's
you.
not gonna. He's not gonna even know us.
No.
Who are you? You're a pleb.
Hero.
Look,
Yeah,
hey.
he said it's his name.
Oh, Hero Down Under. Sweet. All right, let's look you up, man.
Yeah, there it is. Hero Down Under, the Lore of Grief is the name of the video. How it can help you confront real world loss, which I thought was pretty cool because we had just talked about hard things in gaming the week prior, 2 weeks prior, which was pretty neat because then he covers it, or he covers this portion of it in the video where he relates it to his own life and kind of what happened to him and all of that. So it's really, really good. Y'all need to go check it out. He's fantastic. He already has 32 views on the video just from 4 days ago. Already has 21 subscribers. Like, he's doing great. And his first video, what type of hero are you? Really good play on words, but very, very good video as well. Like, it's really cool. So yeah, anyways, wanted to shout him out. He will make you start looking at your life like a coming of age story. Hey, listen, it feeds right into me. Boy Meets World was my life. That's what I wanted my life to be. Find Topanga, stay with Topanga your whole life, make kids that look like Topanga, and be happy. Like, that's and generally speaking, if your faith is in the right spot and you're not a complete jerk, you're gonna do all right. And so, like, that's it. I'm an idealist. That's just what I am.
Yeah, but this world is not what it is, and that's you're an idealist because, and I am too, but I can see the folly of some of the stuff that comes up.
Oh well,
And
sure. I'm not an ostrich.
I've been through more, and I've been through more in my life than I would not want to say. But it's one of those things, you know. It's like I'll tell you this: my dad almost killed me 4 times.
Well, yeah, and
So just to say that.
so like,
So I understand what he's saying. He's going to say, and I think I know what he's been through a lot too. That's why I think I gravitate to him a lot because, you know, he's been through some crap. And I've been through some crap.
He's also a very introspective person. And so it's really cool to hear his take on video games and how it actually was internalized by him. Sorry, I know I'm glazing Hero a lot right now, but it's really awesome when he gets a chance to come on the show.
He's a great friend of the channel, of course.
Because, like,
of course you can.
He's able to, like, when he was with us for our Expedition 33 conversations, those have been some of the best conversations. And because of when he played Spider-Man 2, which I won't spoil it because that's in the video, but because of when he played Spider-Man 2, his love and affection for that game is absolutely on another level from what I normally see people talk, even me, who like really genuinely loves Spider-Man, and I love what Insomniac's done with them. I don't think Spider-Man 2 was really that good of a game. It was okay. I got the platinum in it because it was easy platinum, but like it was fun, but it wasn't up to the level of Miles Morales or even the first game. And so to hear him talk about it, and the fact that when you can internalize the story and how it like helps you through things, and now that story becomes so closely tied to that moment, it is really, really cool to think back. Like certain smells remind me of when I was sitting on my floor in my bedroom playing Final Fantasy X, grinding out no, it was Final Fantasy 8. No, it was 10 because I was listening to the Marshall Mathers LP, and I had the little Discman next to me, and I was listening to it, and I was grinding while my parents were in there like arguing and fighting, and like that was my world. That was safety. Final Fantasy X, and rap music was like safe, and so I didn't have to hear the arguing. I didn't have to hear the fighting. I could just be teleported into my own world. And so it helped me. And it took me forever to stop using games up until recently, really, relatively recently. It took me forever to stop using games as an escape. And so it's...
See, I'm older than you. I didn't really have that as an escape.
No.
I just had to go out and do stuff and go with friends and play football,
Listen,
like that.
You're probably better off for it because all we know in my generation is how to hide from our problems and like try to put enough junk on ourselves so we don't have to be left alone with our own thoughts.
No, we had to internalize all this stuff. We internalized
that's true too.
The anger,
y'all internalize it, we ignore it.
Yeah, because I'm Gen X. We internalize it, but that stuff comes up. You can't internalize it. You got to actually let it out sometimes. You can't just let it fester because it can come out in the wrong way, and it can come out with somebody that you love the most. And it's one of those things, man. You got to be careful with that. That's why when men say, "Oh, you can't show your emotion," dude, these are these guys that freaking will go snap and then freaking solder their whole family. And I'm like, dude, no, you have to be able to let it out. You got to be able to let it go.
Yeah,
letting it go is hard. Living with it, that's harder.
Guys, we're going to end the show like we always do on a therapy corner. Yes.
Hey, bro, I don't mind. Shoot, I don't mind because I've been through a lot in my life, and but I like to share my experience. So hopefully, people don't make that mistake.
It's interesting when you start to break it down and start to realize. And what's really cool is my buddy who is in college getting his master's in psychology, is using D&D as a therapy tool.
It's a good therapy tool. You can play somebody else, and you can express yourself in a different way, and you can also deal with a lot of the problems that you're dealing with. It's a good thing.
What was strange is one of the articles that he just shared with us from one of the psychology journals or whatnot was literally talking about how breakthroughs are happening because therapists are starting to use video games and tabletop RPGs and things like that. Like it's really, and he was so excited because he was like, I feel like I'm in the right place and where I'm supposed to be because it's starting to get more widely accepted by the community. So by the time he graduates, it's not going to be something weird or nuanced. It's going to be something that's actually used and put into practice. Yep. And so like really, really awesome. And you start to think about it when you listen to videos from other people giving their perspectives on it. Like, you start to think, dang, you know what? I can kind of see where that, like, why, we've talked about it before on the channel. Why do a lot of the PlayStation gaming community love the dad stories? It's because all of us are fucking dads. Like, that's why.
Not all are dads, but all of them are aspiring to be a dad.
Or a lot of us had shitty dads.
You want to be yeah, I had one. I had a shitty dad.
And so, like, you want
Still
the dad like
loved them, but yeah.
Right. You want the dad like Kratos, who's going to be hard on you, but you still know he loves you.
Cares.
And he cares about you, which is more than what some people got. They just got the gruff side and nothing else. I thankfully got the gruff side and maybe a little overly physical side on occasion.
Yes.
Like, I never got like fist punched or anything, but like I have gotten to the point where I went into my room to avoid a butt whooping, and I wrapped myself in a blanket, and my dad picked me up in the blanket still and proceeded to whoop my butt with the belt. Like, I've had over aggression, but I've never had full on abuse, I would say. And that day I called my mom a certain name. So,
oh boy, you want death. You chose death that day.
The fact that I didn't die is pretty good. But, like, so we see these characters and automatically a lot of us gravitate to them for one personal reason or another. Like, and that's what's cool about the video game industry and the video game medium is there's so many things that you can do that can connect you to it. I think the premise behind Death Stranding is really cool. Because, like, all these strands come together, everything's tied together across this network. Pretty stinking cool. Makes you really think about the connections you have. I kind of got into like a little bit of a lore dump on it when I was trying to play through Death Stranding 1. Didn't make it very far. Please don't judge me. No. But like the premise of it and the premise of the story is really cool. And it just goes to show that when you start looking at these things, and people have since left. It's 11:30. So if you got to go to sleep, get out of here. We'll see you next week. If you want to stay for a few more minutes, we're about to wrap up. Hit the like button on your way out. That's all I ask. Thank y'all for showing up and being here. But the stories that we get, go ahead.
Yeah, no, yeah, the stories, man. It's crazy, dude. A lot of the stuff, like when I look at some of the adopted dogs and stuff like online, I put myself into that.
Oh,
but it's. I mean, I had my parents, but in my own ways, I was, physical and mentally not abused, but kind of abused. But it was my mom mentally and my dad physically.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I had the best. But the thing is, I didn't have a bad childhood. My family was fun. It was great. It's just at home.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. It was dysfunctional, beyond dysfunctional.
That's crazy.
But you know what? But I grew out of it. My son has everything. I have everything I want. I work towards it. I worked at it. Me and my wife worked at it. And it's great. I'm having such a great time. I'm diabetic. Yeah, I have problems that way, but it's part of my. Unfortunately, my family are diabetics.
Yeah. There's certain things that can't be you can avoid them, but there's a lot about the genes that Levi's comes with a big, huge laundry list of problems normally. So like,
it, brother.
You gotta watch out for them genes.
But talking about the dog, I always see them picking up, and I see myself. That's in God's hands, and not even in God's hands.
Yeah. And
he's sitting there giving me a big old hug. You're worth it. And that's what keeps me going. And my son keeps me going. Believe me, I've had a lot of points in my life where I just didn't want to be around anymore. And wondered why.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's one of those things, let's get off this because it's
dog, bury that shit.
People
go
are
ahead
gonna
and
say, oh my
goodness. No, dog, go ahead and bury that crap. You don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole, because then
No, I don't bury it. I mean, I wear it on my sleeve. It's me. It's who I am.
Yeah.
I can't avoid it, but the fact that I love everybody, and I don't, and And like what I did with those cards,
Yeah.
you know, the cards, was it going to collect it? I wanted him to enjoy them.
Yeah. And
Or them to
he
enjoy
likes
them.
them.
And that's great. They're worth some money too, so that's good.
I'm so close
glad.
to getting him fully into Magic. It's great. If I can just pull him
Good,
away
see?
from Minecraft
See?
enough, I can get
See,
him. And I
I'm
played
the bad
Minecraft some
influence
this past
he
week.
needed.
So, well, So what y'all don't know is Steven sent a lot of Avatar cards to my kid, and so
Basically, my whole collection that I wasn't gonna.
yeah, like he opened up quite a bit of stuff and blah blah blah. So my kid has some really cool Avatar stuff. My son also loves Avatar a ton. I mean, a ton. He's watched the whole series like 4 times. Which, dang these children, man. That's something that I wasn't able to say as a
Dude, there's gonna be a new one
kid.
coming out. There's gonna be a new one coming out. I'm gonna watch that. I loved it. I loved that.
Is it the new? Well, they've already done the live action. Season 2 of that is on its way.
Not the live action, but there's gonna be another series. Avatar when he's older, right before.
Who?
He dies.
When Aang is older?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
When Aang
Okay.
and all of them.
I'm sorry. I don't want Katara again for not Katara. What's her name? It's not Katara. Who's in? Yeah, Korra. Korra.
Korra.
I don't
hated Korra.
I don't want
pissed
any
me
more
off.
Korra.
Beyond pissed me off.
She didn't have a flaw, and everyone's like, yeah, she did. She was angry all the time. That's not a flaw.
That's not a flaw. She was arrogant.
She was
She
arrogant.
thought she was the shit.
Okay,
And
cool.
then she got put in her place.
That just makes her annoying because there was no growth.
Yes.
She just stayed the same the whole freaking series.
Yes, it's a movie. Yes, Josh, it's a movie. I want to watch that. That's gonna be freaking
Ugh,
amazing.
I can't wait. All right, guys, that's gonna be the show tonight. Thank y'all
All right,
so much
brothers,
for
have a
showing
good
up.
night. Sorry about that. You know, sorry about putting all that crap out there. But you know what? That's me. I don't care.
That's what we're here for, man.
I don't care.
I don't give a rat's ass if people want to follow the channel or not follow the channel because of one of our introspective moments. I don't want them here anyways. Like, have a good time. Thank you for stopping by. There's the door. Don't let it hit you with a good Lord split you. Like, that's we have a gaming community here of people who play games for every different reason. Then they can relate to them in so many different ways. Even if you don't play for escapism, you can look at a game and go, you know what, that provoked my thoughts in this area. Life is Strange did it, which is a Square Enix title. But like, Life is Strange did it. Final Fantasy X has done it. Obscure Expedition 33 did it.
Dude,
A ton.
if a game can move you, like, well, Faulkner was talking about Dragon Quest. Yeah, that didn't move me though. It didn't move me like Final Fantasy.
It doesn't move me. It's too
It didn't move
childlike.
me like 10. Yeah, it's a kiddie game.
That's what did it for me. That's why I don't really gravitate towards that series. It looks too kiddie. Or it did back then. Funny enough, now I play games that look very kiddie, but like I just haven't gone back to try those. I own Dragon Quest IX, Echoes of an Elusive Age. I own that game. Like, I paid money for it. It's mine. But like, nah. I have never really gotten past the castle, which is the first area. Like, it's just boring. Like, I'm like, okay, I get a sword. I go out of the castle. I take this is just Zelda. Why am I playing this? Okay.
Yep, pretty much.
Cool. Echoes is 11. Sorry, I had the numbers wrong. But yeah, so anyways, Steven doesn't have X, doesn't do any type of channel or anything like that. You can find him poking around the Discord. Check out the Discord. He's a cool dude. Really awesome guy. He's been around the channel since I had the channel. Like, he's been here for almost 4 years now. So
even before that, when you were on Salties. So,
that's what I mean.
yeah,
like,
that's how I got you.
You've been here for
You
a
and Jez.
minute.
You
yeah.
and Jez.
And so, hey, shout out to Jez, by the way. I don't know if y'all were over at his show early on in the show, but he shouted me out this week, and I just want to say thank you to him. He didn't have to do that. He didn't tell me he was going to do that. I didn't ask him to do that. So really cool that he did. Him and I were talking after last week's show about Sorrows for probably 30 minutes because we were geeking out about it. I love the game. If y'all have not picked it up yet, I know $70 is steep. I think that the price for it after playing it is actually worth it. I think the quality is there. I think everything about the game points to it deserving a $70 price tag. But I understand how some people look at it without playing it and go, hey, that game's not worth $70, because I agree. if I would not have actually made the decision to purchase the game, I would look at it on the shelf and pass it by at $70. But I knew when they had said what they did about the progression, i.e., or albeit way too late in the cycle of marketing, because that was like one of the last things we found out was actually how you progress in the game, and I think they should have led with that. So that's hey DQ, it was good. Jess had a good show, so funny. I trusted my gut. Yeah, dude, Sorrows is just amazing. Anyways, guys, y'all have a good night. Come back next week. We will be here. I am, looking forward to seeing y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by. Hit the like button on your way out. Share this out. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. And thank y'all so much. Y'all